Hey everybody, what's going on? My name is Matt with Boys Crypto. Absolute carnage in the market today. What happened? Where are we going? What levels do we need to hold in order for Bitcoin to continue its macro uptrend? We had one of the worst days that I've seen in a long time for crypto in both the charts and sentiment. Look at these moves to the downside on the daily. You have double digit moves on a lot of the major top 100 altcoins, which are definitely going to be which is definitely going to send ripples down to the altcoins that are in the lower market caps, right? Up in that 200 to 300 and down to that 1,000 ranking crypto, right? Everything's going to be taking a punishment along with Bitcoin here. We got absolutely rinsed on our trades here and we do not have any current positions open. We are waiting for the next opportunity, but that was horrible, everybody. That was horrible. Let's look at crypto bubbles on the hour. We are seeing a little bit of green, a little bit of recovery. Before we get into anything, let's do what we do every single day and break down Bitcoin and what happened today. Bitcoin on the hourly, we had a massive dump starting a couple hours ago in the morning. Started about 12 hours ago this morning. Man, it was absolute capitulation. Just red candle after red candle after red candle. And what sparked this? Well, Trump does plan on continuing his tariffs, and that is scaring economies across the world. We have Bitcoin collapsing, the S&P really struggling here. We are holding we are on the line. We are on the line right here. As the thumbnail suggests, ladies and gentlemen, the line in the sand. And here we are. We have not closed a daily candle below this level since November 19th, right? And that was the end of the massive run up, right? Essentially from President Donald Trump getting elected. We fell beneath this high volume node at about 96,400. It is critical for the bulls to reclaim that, right, in the near term. But since then, you do have a massive resistance here. The high volume node, the bottom support line, likely to turn resistance here in the near term. We just are falling right now, falling massively through the gap, right? Through the gap in the VRVP. We roll this ball off the hill. We're likely to come to the next high volume node. That could be an absolute disaster for the crypto market and altcoins especially. We could see a massive nosedive in the altcoins here in the coming days and weeks, especially if the S&P does start to struggle and we get that negative news sentiment continuing to put pressure on the market. So let's dive in. Let's dive into Bitcoin on the lower time frame. So look at these 4-hour candles, absolutely massive. Yesterday we were looking fine. We were doing okay yesterday. We were feeling pretty good. You know, we were getting some bounces off of this bottom support trend, had two candles. We bullishly engulfed on the 8-hour. We were holding above this high volume node right here. It was looking okay. It was looking totally fine. We were still ranging. And since then, we broke beneath the bottom of that range right here. Let's get rid of that. Boop, boop, boop. We broke beneath the bottom of this range on the 4-hour and we haven't looked back since, right? We broke beneath the range on the 4-hour. It is likely that that area is going to be resistance whenever we push back up in that area, if we do at all. But there is a lot of fear in the market. Looking at the fear and greed, we are sitting at a 29. If you remember yesterday, we were sitting at 40. A 29 is massive fear. Can we push down into the extreme fear here? The fear and greed index on the stock market also in the fear region, right? If we push down into extreme fear, we do have the potential of getting some more massive moves to the downside as bigger corporations sell off and hold on to cash, anticipating a larger corrective movement. We haven't had a large corrective movement in the stock market since the COVID crash, and arguably that was just a black swan event. Is this the turnaround for the S&P 500? It would be the outcome that nobody expects, right? It would be the outcome that no one expects. Trump getting in, everybody thinks the economy is going crazy and is going to be awesome, right? It's just hard to picture a stock market collapsing, but with all this government pressure on that, you know, on the SEC, on the SEC, we have Trump and Musk going to audit the gold reserves at Fort Knox, which have not been audited since 1965. There has not been a full audit on the gold reserves in Fort Knox since 1965. I just learned that today. There have been partial audits here and there, but we have not actually been in there and counted our gold reserves. We do not have an accurate count as of about 60 years ago, right? That is absolute crazy, mind-boggling, right? And you know, it'd be crazy to see if we didn't have to actually have all the gold that we say we have. But that is putting a lot of pressure on the market. The markets are definitely in an extreme fear area. And where are we likely to bounce? Well, right now, I'm not speculating on any longs. Even if we do get a little bounce here, right? I'm seeing massive resistance up here at that $95,000 level. Right now, I am speculating. I'm not going to short this market right now. I'm kind of sitting on my hands. That's my strategy. We got absolutely rinsed today. It was a tough day in the market for everyone who's been trading. Right, very, very tough day. I saw about 300 million in liquidations get hit in a single hourly candle. That was this hourly candle back here in the crypto space, right? That was a massive push down, a $3,000 drop for Bitcoin in the course of an hour, a $2 trillion asset, right? That was a massive, massive drop, right? And it continued to drop. And we did. Today has been an absolute wrecking ball for Bitcoin, down 5%, but most of the altcoins down a double digits. And now we're seeing what we've seen on this stream over the past couple of weeks, these massive, massive, massive red days, right? So you're jumping into the week, red, jumping into the month, almost everything red except for Mantra DAO, which is still taking a little bit of a punishing over this past day. But this has been an absolute carnage of a market. Even some of the stronger coins in the space, XRP suffering, down 26% on the month, struggling today. There's definitely a lot of fear in the market. We're going to jump into this and we are going to try and find a levels of opportunity, right? Levels of opportunity where we're going to be looking for a bounce, where we're going to be speculating on lower prices, right? We're kind of sitting on the fence here, and it's hard to call a bull or a bear in this situation where there's massive fear in the market. It is going to come down to the stock market opening up tomorrow and whether we get some kind of V-shaped recovery. That's what we're going to need in order for Bitcoin to survive this kind of carnage and fear in the market. If we do not get that tomorrow, it is likely we see more blood red and we see a really bloody week in the stock market and for cryptos in general, right? These numbers can be just the beginning, everybody. Crypto is a super volatile asset class. It's relatively new compared to the stock market, right? So there's not a lot, relatively, right? There's not a lot of liquidity in this market compared to the stock market. We will see how that pans out along the week, right? All right, Wanda in the chat. What's going on, Wanda, April, Michaela? How are you guys? Let's dive into Hyperliquid. Hyperliquid was looking at like one of the strongest coins in the game over the past month, right? But it has, just like everything, has taken a massive sell-off. Something that's really, really important to know about these markets, right? I don't care what coin you're in. I don't care about the tokenomics. I don't care if it's being adopted by mass institutions. I don't care, I'm talking about XRP too. I'm talking about Ethereum. I'm talking about Solana. I'm talking about the major altcoins. I don't care what kind of tokenomics you have or what your coin even does. Everything in this space will follow Bitcoin. Everything, period. Everything in this space, 99.99 coins in this space are going to follow Bitcoin every single day, every single minute, every single 15-minute candle, everything. If Bitcoin's up on the 15-minute candle, it's likely your altcoin is up on the 15-minute candle. If Bitcoin is down on the 4-hour candle, it's likely your altcoin is down on the 4-hour level, right? It is super important to know that whenever you're trading altcoins, they are a much higher risk asset class and will take an absolute beatdown whenever Bitcoin shows the slightest sign of struggle, right? And we're going to go into Bitcoin dominance after we look at Hyperliquid here. Let's look at Hyperliquid on the daily. We were speculating, right, on this flag on the macro time frame. Any trade that we had here would have been absolutely stopped out, right? I am no longer in any trades. I got rinsed, everybody. I got rinsed. It is what it is. We win together, we lose together on this channel, right? But we were speculating on this flag breaking out to the upside, right? It didn't. 60% of the time it would have. It didn't. We landed in that 40% category, right? So now we're looking at you're looking at 3 black crows right here, like the opposite of 3 white soldiers, right? 3 white soldiers, right, is a reversal pattern. You have whoop, 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 whoop. 3 white soldiers, you have 1 candle, you have 2 candles, and you have 3 candles, right? All about equal body length. Here, you have increasing length, right? 3 white shoulder. Oh! See here. Boop. 3 white soldiers, right? That's a reversal pattern. You'll have candles coming down here, you get a bullish engulfing candle followed by 2 others, that is often a sign of a reversal, much like you saw right here for Hyperliquid, right? You had 1, 2, 3, that is 3 white soldiers right there, and you had continuation to the upside. You had 1, 2, 3, right? Continuation to the upside. You had 1, 2, 3. You had still a little bit of a pump to the upside. You didn't get it here. A lot of times when you see the 3 white soldiers, even in traditional markets, you're going to get a reversal, right? But the exact opposite is true, right? Right now, we are looking at a 3 black crows scenario right here, right? The opposite of the 3 white soldiers, a reversal pattern, right? And a lot of altcoins are looking like this, and it looks like the alts could be in for some serious punishment if Bitcoin cannot get its butt in gear, right? You are sitting at a pretty key support level right here, right? We've been here before. You've had wicks down to here, but you took all that liquidity. That's okay. Like, that's a good sign, right? But until we see some strength out of Bitcoin, you're not going to get any resurgence out of Hyperliquid. You're not going to get any resurgence out of hardly anything until Bitcoin does decide to reemerge, right? People talk about an alt season. There doesn't have to be an alt season, ladies and gentlemen. We want an alt season. I'm speculating on there being an alt season, but there doesn't have to be, right? This is Hyperliquid on the daily time frame. The Stokes are oversold. That's good, but you're not getting that curvature up yet. You're breaking down pretty hard on the RSI. You're coming down to that oversold territory. On the 4 hour, you are severely oversold. Look at that redness right there. Look at that redness in the oversold condition on the RSI. That, you know, you zoom back, when has it been oversold? It hasn't, right? In its life, right? It hasn't been oversold on the 4 hour. It has not been this oversold since its inception, right? Is that a golden opportunity? I'm not touching anything with a 10-foot pole until Bitcoin can regain its ground, right? Until I see some consolidation on Bitcoin after that massive capitulation. We may get a V-shaped recovery tomorrow. It is what it is. I'm not going to be longing. I'm going to be sitting on my hands. I'm going to be observing the market, right? Because there has been absolute carnage in the market. Account update, right? This is where we're sitting at. We are sitting at 51.42 in the account, right? For the account balance after we got absolutely rinsed for about $600 out of this account over the last 24 to 48 hour period. That was disgusting, everybody. I added to the Ethereum trade, speculating on a bullish divergence. The Bitcoin trade got stopped out. Our long-term velodrome trade got stopped out. We got absolutely rinsed. It is what it is, everybody. It is what it is. Sin Nasty Kid, what's going on? Hey guys, how are you doing? Hey, this is a bloody market, everybody. This is a bloody market. It is what it is. We got absolutely rinsed like a lot of the rest of the market, and that is what it is. I'm going to show that to you guys right in front of your eyes. Keep up to date with me on X, right? On X, I closed those positions out about an hour ago or so. So that is very important. Keep up with me on X and what I just, so you can get my thoughts on my trades and my ideas, right? Again, not financial advice. If you would have followed my advice, you got absolutely rinsed, right? Just like the rest of the longs did. If you were in shorts, congratulations to you. You made absolutely banger money today. Congratulations, congratulations, right? Now, just like whenever we're chasing, right? Whenever we're talk about not chasing green candles, it's important not to chase red candles as well, right? How often do you see assets just absolutely collapse like this, right? It just doesn't happen. It doesn't happen, not without a V-shaped recovery, right? Oh man, that red looks awful, right? Not without some kind of V-shaped recovery or mass liquidation event. It is crazy to see that Binance has definitely been selling through Wintermute. I think that's super criminal, but Binance has definitely been selling off a lot of their big cap coins. So that leads to wonder like what is going on from CZ Binance perspective. Yeah, they're definitely either taking profits or de-risking. I'm not 100% sure, or moving their assets into just a cash pile to see what is coming, right? Is that foreshadowing to see that there's more blood in the streets? It definitely could be, right? Or are they just sweeping up liquidity? I am not entirely sure, but we're going to try to get an edge in this market, right? Try to figure out where we're going here in the near term. That's Hyperliquid for you, Wanda. Thank you for dropping that in the chat. Kaito's still looking strong. We'll look at Kaito. What's up, boys? What's your Bitcoin prediction for the year? Hey, my Bitcoin prediction for the year. Let's pull this up, right? Let's pull up Bitcoin. Bitcoin, baby, Bitcoin. Look, I still think we're in a macro uptrend. This daily candle's not looking strong. This daily candle's not looking strong. Here's what I'm seeing, right? This is our next area of key support on the daily level, down at about $74,000. There's 3 areas that I am looking at, right, for a bounce for Bitcoin on the daily time frame. I'm not saying we're coming down to here, but this is my line in the sand. This is where I am bull versus bear. We drop below this 200-day moving average on the daily. I will be a bear. I will be a bear. I will assume that we are going lower in price before we go higher. There's no reason to me to be in any form of long below this below this daily 200, and I won't be speculating on a long until we close a candle back above, right? Just like down back here, we close a candle below. I would not have taken any long unless we got back above. You got back above, you could have longed, right? You get below, I'm out, right? You get below, I'm out. You did get above here, I would have gotten stopped for sure. You got above here, okay, you could have speculated, put your stop below the prior low and you were fine, right? You get above here and you were gone. But if we break below that low, that's it for me. What am I looking for here? I'm looking for a support resistance flip, everyone. I'm looking for a support resistance flip here on the daily time frame. I'm looking for this level at about $74,000 to hold in order for me to remain bullish, right? If that does happen, right? And this is going to take some time. These are some daily candles and nobody wants to hear this. I promise you, nobody wants to hear this, right? But we can definitely come down here, test this level, right, and still be bullish. Break back above here, form some sort of flag, right, come back up to the top and break to higher prices, right? If you zoom out, right, from a macros perspective, does that look like it's entirely impossible? No, it looks like just healthy price action, right? Now we were speculating on a falling wedge breaking to the upside, right, and we just didn't get that. We got a massive capitulation candle. It was looking really, really strong, and ever since we've had that Binance hack, there's been some absolute fear and carnage in this market, right? So looking to fall down to that support level, potentially bounce. That's as low as I think we go. We have some high volume nodes down here, but we drop below this daily 200 SMA. I'll look at this support resistance flip as maybe a small long area, maybe for a reversal if I see good divergence on the daily time frame. But until we get that, I'm going to be a bear below this daily 200, right? So I want to see that level hold desperately. We need to hold that level. It is incredibly critical for the bull run to keep going. Now, where do I see Bitcoin going, right? So this is going to take some time. I don't see Bitcoin reaching its top till around November, December timeframe, right? I still think once we break back above this level, I'm speculating, and this is complete speculation, right? Because nobody knows where Bitcoin's going to go once it has its blue sky breakouts. I am liking this $150,000 to $180,000 region, right? Now it depends on a lot of different things. It depends on if mass institutional adoption, right? How many companies are going to adopt Bitcoin on their balance sheet, right? How many companies are going to adopt Bitcoin? Are companies going to speculate on an Ethereum, like on an Ethereum 2x leverage ETF, XRP ETF, things like that? Are they going to diversify into those assets, right? Is Bitcoin dominance going to continue to go on a tear? That is all, those are all things you need to take into consideration, right? If we do unload that strategic reserve, say the United States wants to buy 200,000 Bitcoin this year, that price target is incredibly conservative. And then I could see us reaching $250,000 this year. Yes, this year. That would only be a 2.5x for Bitcoin. That is not a lot, right? That is not a lot compared to, we've seen a 1x in the past 3 months, right? Like from 50,000 all the way up to 100, or more than, or 2x, right? A little more than a 2x all the way up to 110,000. So it is not unfeasible to think that Bitcoin could reach that $250,000 level, right? I am speculating if we do not, and we need Congress to do it, if we do not get that strategic reserve for the United States owning Bitcoin, right? If we don't, and I get President Trump wants to do everything that President Trump wants to do with Bitcoin, but he needs Congress's approval, right? And there's a lot of people in the House that have conflicting views on Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies as a whole, right? Especially after this Trump pump and dump meme coin, right? And the Melania and everything. Everybody knows about that. So there's a lot of like, oh, like this is really bringing the risk asset mindset to a lot of people in the House, the Senate, right? And they're saying, oh, is this really safe, right? So I think Trump needs to put some things in play in order to give them the warm and fuzzies to get that vote to go through. Because as it stands, right, as Solana continues to get beaten down, as Ethereum continues to get beaten down, these altcoins are getting absolutely wrecked. And Bitcoin, if Bitcoin takes a nosedive, this market will be back where it started before the election, before you know it, right? I am liking what we're seeing here in the near term. We're getting a little bit of a bounce. Hyperliquid with that 5% bounce in the last 15 minutes. That's good to see, right? But we're still really struggling on the daily. I am treating this, right? Even though we're starting the day off green, I need to see us get above a serious 200 MA, right? We may have gotten above the 1. We did. We bounced, right, for Bitcoin. That's a good sign going forward. But I'm going to be looking at the 5-minute, right? I'm not going to be getting into any kind of long until we cross over the 5-minute 200 MA, right? When you get over the 5-minute, I'll put a stop below the prior low, and I will try and ride this. I'll try to ride this back up to the upside, everybody, to the upside. But that's what I'm looking for. I do see this on the 15-minute time frame. What do we do? Look at this flipped over, everybody. Look at this flipped over. I was just looking at this. Does this not look like your standard bull flag, right, on the 15-minute? Would we not take a long on this position right here, right? You have a massive flagpole, right, and you have a flag forming, and you're going to break to the upside. You would take a long going 2 to 1 right here off this flag, right, like this. Boop. You're on the bottom support line, right? Stop 2 to 1, right? And you can flip it around for a short, right? Boop. Stop 2 to 1 from where you are. Let's get rid of this one here. Right? You got a 4 to 1 trade right there out of the bull flag on the 15-minute, right? But that's inverted. Flip this up to where we actually stand. You got to be really careful of this bear flag that's forming on the 15-minute. That would be an absolute rinsing, everybody. Are we going to see $88,000 before we wake up tomorrow morning? It definitely is possible. Look at the stochastics. We're overbought. If we start curving down here on the stochastics RSI, we could get another massive dumpage move to the downside. It is not what anybody wants to see, but I am keeping that on your radar because if we start dumping from here, right, there's lows that we could take out here. There's liquidity down here that we could actually sweep, right? We still have this low, right, back from, you know, January 13th that we could sweep, right? And you could take the liquidity from there. We have this low here. Did we sweep it? Just barely. We did, right? Well, we got a low here. Did we sweep it? No. We got some lows in here. Yeah, there's liquidity to sweep below us. We are on the fence, everybody. We are on the fence, ladies and gentlemen. If Bitcoin cannot get out of here, watch your altcoins, watch your altcoins, watch your altcoins. I'm telling you. Let's dive into Bitcoin dominance and see what's going on with dominance. I'll bet it's on a moon mission, baby, on a moon mission. Look where dominance is standing right now. This is terrifying for the altcoins. We do have this daily bearish divergence, right? But it's looking like we got to stop by 64.2. We need to. If we don't, we're going to get a massive pump for Bitcoin dominance out of this rising channel that we've been forming for the past 2 years. That would be absolute carnage for the altcoins. Why? Because Bitcoin will just steal a large fraction of the market share as there's mass fear. When Bitcoin's dumping, this pumps hard, right? And just even while Bitcoin's been pumping, Bitcoin dominance is pumped hard. Has anybody been in an altcoin besides XRP, Mantra DAO, maybe Solana? No, not even Solana. Besides XRP and Mantra DAO, has your altcoin performed better than Bitcoin in the past year? No, it hasn't, right? It just hasn't. And it's crazy to say, like, oh, my altcoin should be going up while Bitcoin's going up. And that is true, right? But Bitcoin has really been stealing the show lately with this institutional adoption. I know Michael Saylor just bought another $2 billion today, tweeted out. He said, Bitcoin's on sale, everybody. Bitcoin is on sale. Yeah, Michael Saylor's tweeting that out. He bought $2 billion today. What does he know that we don't? He's good buddies with Donald Trump. What if this is a Bitcoin super cycle where alts begin to bleed, where alts die against Bitcoin? We flip this channel right here into support, and we could be going on an absolute moon mission for Bitcoin dominance. It has happened before, everybody. Not for this amount of time, right? Bitcoin hasn't been in this strong uptrend for this amount of time, but we break above this rising support channel, right, or this rising resistance channel, right? We flip that into support and violate the 786 or the 618 retracement that we formed back here, right? How do we take that? We took it from the high to the low, up here, right, swinging down. And we got up into that golden pocket, right? We tried to reject off the 618 here, came down. Now we got the 706. Are we going for the 786? We definitely could before we get a reversal. Are we going to get a reversal? Can Bitcoin dominance pump to 80, 90%? Let's go back in time, baby. Look where we were when on Bitcoin's inception, a little after Bitcoin's inception, right? We had that massive alt season, 2017, and that fell to Valhalla, right? Can we come up and retest these levels, right? Is Bitcoin really going to steal the show this season? It is possible, everybody. It is possible. Anything is possible in trading, right? Anything is possible. Watch your altcoins, watch your altcoins, watch your altcoins. Now, I will say, if we get up here and hit the 786, right, on that fib, you can speculate on a short-term bounce to the downside, right? Potentially a macro top right here for Bitcoin dominance. Areas that price likes to bounce off of, that 786 golden pocket area between the 618 and the 786. We are currently sitting in there right now, right? It takes some balls to get in some longs and some altcoins, right? But I mean, I'm speculating based off of the way this trend is going. If this trend line does break and we turn this into support and get a bullish retest, let's zoom in here a little bit. We get this trend line breaks and we get a bullish retest of the trend line, we can be going up for an 886 retrace. That is a massive move for Bitcoin dominance of about 12%. So your altcoins will lose 12% against Bitcoin. And that's whether Bitcoin's going up or Bitcoin's going down. If Bitcoin falls 10%, that's billions of dollars flowing from the altcoins back into Bitcoin because of that massive, massive fear. We still have room to go, ladies and gentlemen, in this fear and greed index. We can fall down here in the red. We were just sitting up in extreme greed just 2-3 months ago, right? When we were on that parabolic run up, we were in extreme greed. That was telling people, hey, maybe it's time to be taking some profits. Take profit, take profit, take profit. And this is maybe where you want to start investing, where you want to start buying that blood in the streets, as Warren Buffett says. But it is truly terrifying right now, everybody. Look at some of the stronger coins. You have XRP sitting at 230. Down 13%, one of the biggest losers in the past 7 days, right? Solana getting absolutely wrecked, being accused as a meme coin pump and dump hub, right? A Bitcoin or a meme coin vending machine, right? It's been absolutely crazy for Solana. Radium's been taking a beat down, kicking the gonads, right? Chainlink been getting dominated, right? $15 Chainlink. Did we ever think we would see that again? I did not think so. Sui down under $3. These things have been absolutely capitulating. Hedera was just at 40 cents. You're at a 50% discount in the past month, right? Look at this month on crypto bubbles. That is ridiculous. That looks awful, right? So it is imperative that Bitcoin holds these levels, or we're going to see these 60, 70, 80% numbers from the altcoins. I promise you, if Bitcoin takes that nosedive down to that daily 200 SMA, right? That's going to promote max fear, right? And we'll see if that holds. But it remains to be seen. It remains to be seen. As of right now, Bitcoin sits underneath. And drop your coins. Whatever coins you guys want to go through, drop them in the chat. Drop them in the chat. I'm here for you guys. I love being here with you guys. Drop them in the chat. I'm excited to hear from you guys. Excited to hear from you guys. Hopefully my chat keeps working. Yesterday it fell off. I don't know what happened. But my lady had to bring her phone out here so I could see the chat. But right now we're sitting beneath this high volume node. I'm a bear, baby. I'm a bear beneath that. You know me. It's tough. It's tough when you're below a high volume node, unless you reclaim it really quickly and we get some kind of miraculous bullish engulfing candle here for Bitcoin. It is likely that we see lower prices. I'm looking for the first stop being here around $81,000. I did see on the weekly we're touching the 21. That's a good sign, everybody. We are touching the 21 on the weekly. Is this just a larger flag forming? It is possible. It is possible, right? The weekly stochastics are reset. Is this the flag that we're in? Is this the bottom, right? Before we get that massive move to the upside, right? We're going to get a bullish engulfing, get in here and break out to higher prices. It definitely is possible. But you know, from the weekly time frames perspective, but the daily, we lost a high volume node. Even on the weekly, the high volume node is above us. So I would be very, very careful taking any long positions, right? And if you're going to speculate on longs, make it a smaller, start building the position, right? Start at lower leverage and add to the trade as it comes down to these key levels, right? Based off the bounce on the 21, and then you could add at this daily 200, right? If you want to take like a 3x position, something like that. Like if you wanted to speculate on, hey, I don't think the bull market's over, but I'm going to add as we go down, as we approach these levels. That is also a strategy. It's a strategy that people use whenever they're using cross leverage, Let's dive in. Let's dive into the chat. What's good, boys? Yeah, we went over the Bitcoin prediction. Kaito, baby. Kaito. Let's look at Kaito. Let's open up another chart here that we keep Bitcoin up. Boop, boop, boop. Right. Kaito, baby. The Google of crypto. Kaito. Let's dive in. Kaito on the perpetuals, a very, very, very new project, right? Kaito booming to the upside. It looks really, really good. That 170 region, we did fall below that 5-minute 200 MA. We haven't really been able to reclaim that. Let's see. on the 1 hour, it's not looking bad. It's not looking bad. We did speculate on this flag, right? Breaking out the other day. Right, it was something like that. Or the falling wedge breaking out, right? Yeah, it was something like this here. Broken pattern, flag, boom, to the upside. That's good. If we could see a flag form here, right, that does look really, really good to me. Kaito can boom. Can Kaito show a little strength here despite the market downturn? It definitely looks like it can. You have the stochastics reset on the 1 hour here. Boop. You have the stochastics reset on the 1 hour. Right? You have the RSI pointing up in the upward direction, about to cross that signal line. That would be really, really good to see for Kaito. This is a new project, heavily speculative, but this does look like it could come up to that 216 region and break the prior high. That would be really awesome to see for Kaito. I would love to see that. I would love to see that. Kaito, the Google of crypto, is a super cool project. Check it out. Their website looks awesome. Their white paper looks awesome. It really looks like this team knows what they are doing. I'm excited to see what they do here in the future. But same thing, man. If this does get major traction and Bitcoin does start to fall and speculation in the market does take a beating, this may be one of the one-off winners, but 99.9% of things are going to fall with Bitcoin. Definitely keep that in mind whenever you're trading Kaito, right? And this is a perpetual contract. This is just a leverage contract so you can trade, right? So definitely keep that in mind. You can look at this as a cup and handle as well, right? Now taking another look at it, is this the cup, right? Is this the cup? I gotta change this to white. Good night. White looks the best on here, right? You got whoop. You got your cup. And you got your handle here forming, baby. You got your handle here forming. Maybe breaking to the upside. I do like what I'm seeing there for Kaito, right? In the near term. Is that the explosion that we could get, right? You're sitting in a cluster of high volume nodes. So there's a lot of Kaito trading hands right now in this region. I do like that, right? You have the highest volume node beneath you. That makes me gives me the warm and fuzzies. You got the RSI indicator pointing up in the from the oversold into fair value region. I do like seeing that for the stochastics. It looks like Kaito can continue here. We will track that on the channel over the next couple days. Thank you for Kaito for putting that in the chat and going over it with us here on the live. Thank you guys. You guys are awesome. Let's dive in. Let's dive in. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. Thank you, Michaela, for reminding everyone of that. That is awesome. It helps with the algorithm and gets the word out to everybody. So when we're going over these projects, they could also consider investing in the coins that you're investing in, further helping your bags, right? Let's see. Very informative. Thanks for the insight. Of course, so absolutely. You can only DCA at this point to save the bags. That's right, man. That's right. If you're looking at longer term holds here, right, for Bitcoin, for your altcoins, yeah, now's not a bad time. Anytime, in my opinion, anything under 100K for Bitcoin is going to look like a steal in the course of over the course of 4 years, right? Like we get up that $200,000 range and people will be like, "Oh, did you get in under 100K? Did you get in under 100K?" Yeah, it's going to be a really good feeling when you can say that I got in under 100K, right? So when in doubt, you zoom out, right? Look at this. We are still on a macro uptrend for Bitcoin, right? We're still on a macro uptrend. This is just since 2020. If you look at the Coinbase here, yeah, baby. Look at this. We're still in a macro uptrend for Bitcoin, right? They're going to keep printing money, baby. They will. There's no choice. They have no choice. We're going to keep printing money. We're going to keep weakening the dollar. We have no choice unless this Doge really digs its heels in and finds out where all the money's going in our government and stops it. We have to stop sending money to everybody else, right? We have to stop giving Ukraine free money. Did you know that all the money that we're giving Ukraine is not guaranteed, which means they don't have to pay it back? But all the money the $100 billion Europe gave is guaranteed. Oh, we'll pay it back to you. We'll pay it back to you. What kind of deals were they making in the White House where we don't get any of our money back? That is crazy. If I go to the bank and be like, yeah, you could buy a $200,000 house and, you know, I'm not expecting any of the money back. Well, I'll sign me up any day. Absolutely. It's like those memes in SpongeBob where SpongeBob was making so much money and he's hanging out bags of money. I'm getting back in line. Yeah, that's what it felt like, giving all the money to Ukraine, right? That's what it felt like. So unless we can stop doing stuff like that and get these wars settled across the world, it feels like the United States is responsible for everything as far as keeping the world at peace, right? That should not be the case. We're still on a macro uptrend for Bitcoin, but the main contributor to that is the countless money printing we have going on in the country. Look at this bear flag here forming, baby. I do not like what I'm seeing here for Bitcoin, right? I'm not liking what I'm seeing. We could see a massive capitulation event, and we could see it tonight. We could see it over the course of this stream, everybody. It is possible. I'm not saying it's going to happen, but it's possible. Are we heading down that $87,000 level? What's important about that level? Well, you're going to sweep this liquidity, right? That's really important to keep in mind, right? You sweep liquidity. The bulls like to the whales like to switch price in the opposite direction, right? So, you break below these lows, you crack them, and you get a reversal to the upside, stopping out all the late shorts in this area, right? A lot of people speculate on that double top scenario. Oftentimes they get wrecked, right? Oftentimes they get wrecked. The whales don't trade the same way we trade, everybody. The whales don't care about patterns. They don't care. They care about liquidity, right? They care about areas where people have their stop losses, because that's where they can take most advantage of the prices of any asset, right? They don't care that this looks like a giant M, right? If everybody shorts down in here, the whales are going to rip it right back up to the upside, because that gives them a lot of cheap Bitcoin that is coming out of the exchanges, right? And then those people are left holding the bag, and they have to buy more expensive crypto from them. It's super important. It's super important to keep in mind how the whales trade it's super important to keep in mind how the whales trade. Dry uvula. Whenever you're looking at these markets, right? Every whale and their mom are looking at this right now. Every whale, it's like, that is an M pattern. Everybody on YouTube is going to be saying it's an M pattern. M patterns break down most of the time, right? Well, we had this shoulder, head, right shoulder here. Why did that not break down? It's 60. These have probabilities, right? But with an asset that's being looked at by so many big players here, whales know this. Michael Saylor bought here. Michael Saylor bought today, right? Like, is he going to buy down here? He has to, right? For his shareholder. The way Michael Saylor is accumulating Bitcoin is he's leveraging shares in order to get capital to buy Bitcoin, right? So it's kind of, I don't want to say it's risk free for him, but if we push down far enough, that could push Michael Saylor and MicroStrategy to a point of liquidation, right? And that would be a disaster, right? To a point where they can't pay back their shareholders, right? And then the company falls under, not just as a business, but since they rebranded the strategy, right, and they rebranded their entire business model to be a Bitcoin development company, it puts a lot of shade on them. Why would they buy at these high levels, right? If Bitcoin's going to fall to these lower levels here, and MicroStrategy is essentially back at its average purchase price, right? Since MicroStrategy's been purchasing since that $35,000-$40,000 level, but its bigger purchases have come up in here in the $90,000 to $100,000 range, raising their average price, right? Which is why it's so dangerous to average in as we're going up, right? It's so dangerous to average in while we're going up, because now instead of his average price being about $38,000, it's sitting at about $60,000, $65,000. That price has climbed over the course of time, right? With every purchase that he makes up here, because it's higher than its average price, raising his average, increasing his risk of this downside move, right? Like, so if Bitcoin does break down, you can break down and be at your break-even price, right? That's the problem that comes with averaging in up at these prices whenever you already have such a large position, right? And I don't see any other companies buying every single week. It is strange to see, like Tesla made a couple purchases, right? Not recently, but Tesla made a couple purchases, but their average cost is back here in the $50,000 region, right? Whereas they doubled up on their investment. MicroStrategy hasn't, even though they made more Bitcoin purchases, their average price is still less than 50% of where Bitcoin sits today. So it's a little sketchy for MicroStrategy if this starts breaking down, right? And they start getting back to that average entry price. And Michael Saylor is going to be crapping his pants if we do get this move to the downside, right? And break this 200 MA and push back down to levels that we haven't seen since before President Trump has been in office. All right, type your questions in the chat. Wanda, let's look at Virtual's protocol. I love Virtual's protocol. I think it is going to do absolute numbers in this space. Look, these altcoins will come back. They will. It'll take time. We could have a 70% dump for the altcoins, right? And we were speculating on a long here, and it's getting absolutely rinsed, right? We were not in that position, but that was just a trade idea based off of what? The daily bullish divergence, which is still in play here for Virtuals. All right. Virtual's protocol, baby. A super cool platform. If you've never been on it, there's tons of AI that can do all sorts of different stuff. we're just going to look at the charts right now, right? But Virtuals, right, continues to develop on their platform and grow it over and over and over again, or many times over. The AIs are only getting stronger. They communicate with one another. They have market analyst bots, all sorts of things that can really change the way we look at markets. Are humans going to be trading, you know, going into the future? Is it going to be all autonomous through AI? That is what Virtuals protocol is kind of trying to attack, right? So it's really interesting to look at. I highly recommend looking at the Virtuals protocol and maybe looking at getting some spot virtuals, right? Why am I recommending spot? Well, you can see this has been a massive downturn since the all-time high at around 518. You're down about 80% on Virtuals protocol. It has been a nasty drop. The first sign of life that I saw, right, coming in here, we finally got some daily bullish divergence that is still in play. We have a swing down on price action while we have a swing up in the RSI indicator, right? And that gave us a bounce, right, to higher levels. This was a big move for Virtuals of about 34% to the upside. We tried cracking that 21. We couldn't do it. We couldn't do it yet, right? But this is going to remain highly skeptical until Bitcoin decides to get some footing. Bitcoin dropping below $92,000 as we speak right here. It is really having a tough time. Virtuals protocol, I think it is a great investment opportunity, right, for getting into the AI space. It is the biggest player in the crypto AI space. I think it will do absolute numbers over time. I do believe we will see back up at this $5 price target, right, once this bull run does resume, right? But if Bitcoin is to fall towards that $70,000 level, you can see Virtuals fall to levels that it hasn't seen since the only price charts were on Dex Screener. Let's see if we can get it on. We got it on MEXC here. Oh yeah, here we go. Here we go, baby. All right, let's pull a fib here and let's see what we're looking at. Pulling a fib. Right, yeah, you're coming down towards that 886 region. Alts do like to come down to that 886 region from time and time again. You can see what knocked us down to the upside, the downside pretty clearly, right? You had this bearish divergence forming on the daily time frame, not once, right? Not twice, not three times, right? You had quadruple bearish divergence. Look at that bearish divergence rearing its head. You had 1, 2, 3, you had quadruple bearish divergence. Look at that. Every time you see that, you're going to see a massive pullback, unless I have never seen more than 4 bearish divergences form on an asset ever. I haven't seen it, not on the daily, not on the weekly, not on the monthly, none of that, right? Like once bearish divergence gets this strong, it is very likely to kick in. What does this bearish divergence say? And no one wants to hear it. What does this bearish divergence say? That's right. Before we crack this high, right, it's likely we crack this low, right? Since the bearish divergence started being formed. That sits down at 31 cents, ladies and gentlemen. 31 cents. There's no way that can happen. That's another 60% drop. It can. If Bitcoin does decide to take this nuke, Virtuals can fall an additional 72% from where it is at, right? Is that going to be the opportunity to get into Virtuals? Because if you're looking at altcoin season, right, and you could get a bounce here, it is likely that we'll see a bounce like here in the near future for Virtuals. Assets don't just completely fall off like this unless they're like meme coins, like Chill Guy, right? Don't get me on my meme coin rant. Don't get me on my meme coin rant, everybody. I get tilted on meme coins all the time, right? Just as yeah, meme coin rants. But yeah, you're in this falling wedge. Let's clear up some of this work here. So we were speculating on this falling wedge breaking out to the upside, right? And it did, right? We got a little bit of a movement. You could try to adjust this, right, and say it's in a falling channel. You got an imminent death cross coming with the 21 and the 200. I would say you got to keep in mind that Virtuals not too long ago was trading down here. This is October, right? This is October of 2024. Less than 5 months ago, you were trading at 5 cents. You were trading at 5 cents. Even if we fell down to 30 cents, you would still be looking at a 6x from Virtuals back in October, right? That is not unfeasible. That can definitely happen, and you need to keep that on your radar whenever you're investing in these things that have absolute moonshots, right? It is unlikely for these prices to just continue, right? I thought Virtuals honestly would get some kind of flag or bounce by now, right? And seek liquidity and possibly move higher as the AI space was absolutely taken off, right? But there's no way that's going to happen, and it can't happen until Bitcoin finds its footing. Look at right here. Where'd we stall, right? Where'd we stall all, right around January 1st, you know, December 27th, the January 1st area. Let's go in the Bitcoin, January 1st to the December 27th. That's when we started to struggle, right? If I remember right, January 1st, yeah, December 27th, that's when we started having those massive candles to the downside, right? Well, right around this late December, early January, that was the first sign of weakness for Bitcoin. So of course, Virtuals is going to see some profit taking, right? People are going to get scared, right? And whenever, I will say this, whenever we get a relief here, it's going to be massive for Virtuals. It's going to be massive. Look at that, 3 days for 67%. When you're thinking of percentage gains, right, you have to understand where the price has been in the past, right? If you wait for a good entry here on Virtuals, if you wait for that 30% pullback, and then you could speculate on a 3x long, and if you get a 3x long down at 30, at 30 cents, and then it does go to retest the highs, then you're looking at a 36x on your investment, right? And it can happen very, very quickly whenever you could happen very, very, very quickly in the event that Bitcoin does rebound, right? And the altcoins do get some love with Bitcoin dominance falling to the downside. It's important that Bitcoin dominance does fall off to the downside, right? It's so important, right? We're in this rising wedge, or this rising channel, this 2-year rising channel that needs to break to the downside in order for, look at this daily candle. This just opened today. It is pushing above this resistance line as we speak. There's a lot of lines here on the chart, right? We could kind of clear this up. But, ooh, yeah, I think it's bad juju just to put even red on the charts. But we haven't had a daily candle close, everybody, for Bitcoin dominance that was this high since when? We haven't in years. It has been since March of 21 that Bitcoin dominance was this high, right? You're looking at an area that we haven't seen since March of 21, right? It's crazy to think that, but Bitcoin dominance can really start taking over here. We don't want to see that. We want to see altcoins thrive, but we're going to need this 786 to hold, everybody. We need 66% to hold and have us reverse, break down into this channel, test this daily 200 MA and move lower, right? That's the only way that we're going to get out of this. If we break that 786, there's not much above us. You have, let's clear some of this up to make it a little clearer. You break that 786 at about 66 right here, right? What do you have? Okay, we break the 786. Where are we going from there? Look at this next resistance level. You have this resistance level up here at 70%. Say we break through that. Oh, there's no way we're going to break through that. Well, look, if this was any other chart, would it not look like a giant double bottom, right? Would it not look like a giant double bottom? Right? That's down to break to the upside. It can't break up to the target. Why? Because that would take Bitcoin dominance to 100%, right? And I don't believe that that's not happening, right? Because it would go up to 100%, right? Back to where it began, back when during its inception, when Bitcoin was the only crypto, right? When Bitcoin was the only crypto back in 2010, nobody knew what Ethereum was or Solana or any of these big coins that are currently in the space, right? Can we get that breakout to the upside for Bitcoin dominance? I don't want to see that. And what's worse about this? What's worse? I'm just speaking from a bearish perspective. What's worse is this can pump and will pump massively if Bitcoin dumps. It will pump massively if Bitcoin dumps. Bitcoin dumps and takes dominance higher with the amount of market share that Bitcoin already has. Alts will drain, baby. Alts will drain. It'll be insane. It'll be like, there's going to be no movement like it. If Bitcoin dumps, dominance rockets out of this rising channel here, and we go and test some of these levels. These are critical, absolutely critical to hold, everybody. It's absolutely critical that these, let's get that a little tighter there. Yeah. It's absolutely critical that these levels hold. If they don't, Bitcoin dominance is going to have what's called a blue skies breakout. Look at this. There's no resistance. There's none. There's no resistance. You could argue, oh, boys, there's a couple wicks there. I'm not going to bet the bank on that. I'm not going to bet the farm on that, right? You could say this is a giant double bottom. I don't want to say that, but you break out. Look at that. The target is 102%. That's impossible. That's impossible, right? So a dump on Bitcoin here can lead to a massive squeeze to the upside in Bitcoin dominance, and alts could go back to where they were prior to the presidency. Even before that, before the bull run, a lot of these altcoins, right? Let's look at total three, baby. Oh my gosh, you guys got my uvula going like, woo! Oh yeah, that's some good stuff. You never had a monster rehab. This will light you. This will light you up. I'm convinced there's some kind of drug in there, baby. All right, let's dive in. Total 3. What is total 3? Total 3, right, is the measure of all altcoins besides Bitcoin and Ethereum. So essentially, it's a altcoin in a nutshell chart, right? An altcoin in a nutshell chart. The price of all altcoins put together, right, market share wise, is 813 billion. So if you added all the altcoins that were not Bitcoin and Ethereum, all the coins that were not Bitcoin and Ethereum together, you would get $813.5 billion, baby. $813.5 billion. We are speculating on this flag here, right? Breaking out to the upside, and still it does remain intact, right? Right, you're breaking beneath that that support line. I don't want to see that. The minute you lose the 21, you start getting a little fearful. This is the weekly, right? Man, we are coming down to test the daily 200 MA on total 3. Everybody here that watches this channel knows that I am a bear, baby, beneath the 200 MA on the daily, right? And it is imperative that we hold at least, look where we lose the daily, where are we going? We're likely to go to the 3-day, right? We're likely to go to the 3-day. Where does that sit? Back at $601 billion, a level that we have not seen since I was, getting out of the military, right back here in November. So it's important that this daily holds. It has to hold. It needs to. For the sake of Ondo and Ethereum and Solana and everything that we want in this bull market, this level needs to hold, right? When this level fails, it gets disgusting, right? And maybe it only lasts a week or two. Maybe it only lasts a day, right? But you're looking at an average altcoin fall of 14%. And the higher market cap's gonna, fall a little less, and the lower market caps are gonna colossally fall a little more, right? And even as Bitcoin's trading sideways, dominance is pumping, so alts are still dumping, right? We have a red candle on the day for the altcoins. Come on, altcoins, where is your strength, right? What I am liking here is this the beginning of some bullish divergence forming on the daily time frame, right? You have a swing down. Let's get rid of this, right? You have a swing down in price right here, right? What you're trending sideways on the RSI. It is imperative that we see this curve that is starting to form down here, right? A curve that is starting to form, right? Kind of like my abdomen, right? Is starting to form, right? It's not quite there, right? Because we still got these love handles that flap in the wind when we're running, but it's starting to form, right? We're starting to see a little bit of chiseling. So we need this line to come up and start making that curve in order for us to confirm some bullish divergence. What would bullish divergence do? That would give us some confidence that we are going to break this high here before we break this low. We got to get all these lines white because there's so much red on the charts that we can't take anymore, right? Let's get the whiteness going on there. Good, right? This would take us down to, this would tell us that we are likely to stay safe above this wick down to $745. Right? Down to $745. Sorry, $745 billion. We're likely to stay above that and break this area at about 953 billion and move to the upside based off of this daily bullish divergence. That can definitely happen, but that is yet to be confirmed. We need to see this curve, and we need this candle to close green, baby. We need it to close green, or at least an indecision doji. We can't take another red candle, and we most certainly cannot close below the daily 200 SMA for the total 3 chart. It is imperative. It is imperative. Let's jump in the chat here and see what you guys are saying. Very informative. Thanks for the insight. Thank you so, Wanda. We looked at Virtual. Thank you. Thank you, Michaela. I love the get back in line SpongeBob reference. A shout out to you. What's your thought on Phantom? Man, I saw Phantom have a massive pump earlier. Let's dive into Phantom. I saw the bubble green, baby. It was big. It was a big one, right? So let's dive in. Do you think that there is do you think that there is no choice for the government to accept Bitcoin or to completely ignore it and allow the market as it did before the free market continues? That is a great question, man. And it's all speculation. This whole market is speculation that, this asset class is going to gain acceptance over time, right? And in order for that to happen, right? You need governments to get on board. Now, let's pull up Phantom. That is going to be all dependent on Congress, right? Congress is incredible. Congress is going to need to get its butt in gear, right? And am I looking at the right one? FTM? Phantom, FTM. No. That's not Phantom anymore. Hold on. I saw Phantom on here. Boop, boop, boop. No. Maybe that is Phantom. FTM. So I think a Sonic. You're looking at Sonic. Sonic was previously Phantom. FTM. Yeah, because I know they got rebranded. Let's see. Yeah, just put it in the chat, man. Let me know what you want. I'll answer this other question first, right? So Bitcoin is super important for governments to get on board. It is critical, right? And that's going to be all dependent on Congress. What needs to happen for Congress to get us a strategic Bitcoin / crypto reserve? It's going to need to, it's going to need to go into law. You're going to need to get through the House, the Senate, right? And you're going to need to get that presidential stamp of approval, right? And it all depends how each one of those representatives interprets Bitcoin, whether it's a risky asset, whether it's something that the government should take on, right? Whether they think it's something worth taking on. Fed Chair Jerome Powell did say the other day, like, hey, yeah, it could be a part of some people's portfolios, and that was better than his stance on it before, right? So that gave me a little bit of hope, but it all depends on Congress, right? If Congress denies that bill, there's nothing the president can do. He could say executive order, I'm putting an executive order, hammer down all day long, right? But that only holds up until Congress does something about it, right? That's why we have that balance of powers. So Trump can't just take over and do whatever he wants, right? I do think Trump's doing some good things, but he can't just do whatever he wants. Congress will eventually get to each of these executive orders that he brought up and say, hey, yeah, we agree or we don't agree. That's the power of the executive order, is being able to bypass the time that Congress has to do anything, right? So it prevents that backup of time during emergency situations that are deemed by the president, right, in order to get a temporary solution. But Congress can say no. And we don't want to say that, but it's true. Congress can say no to that strategic reserve. I do not want to see that, right? I really don't want to see that, but it is something that we got to keep on our radar, because I couldn't tell you what all every representative, thinks about Bitcoin and crypto. We know some people own them, and we can see publicly who owns what, right? But it's not something that we have clarity on. There's hundreds of people in the House and 100 in the Senate, right? So there's almost 500 people. I think it's 560 people that we don't know their opinions on Bitcoin and crypto, regardless of whether they're Republican or Democrat, or if they stand with Trump, right? There's going to be a lot of lobbying going on. This is a huge issue right now, and we need to get that clarity. We need to get that clarity in order to see this space perform and move to the upside. It is so critically important that we get at least some clarity, because what are the markets like? Or dislike more than anything? They don't care. They don't care about good news. They don't care about bad news. They care about uncertainty. When there's uncertainty in the market, they get rocked. They get rocked because nobody knows where the bias lies. So uncertainty is what's killing us here, and we need to get some regulatory framework and structure in order for Bitcoin and cryptos to succeed as an asset as a whole, right? Why were people getting in Bitcoin at $100, right? They were speculating on this kind of action of this kind of movement happening for Bitcoin. People starting to adopt businesses. We have the ATMs now, right? Now we're getting into governments, right? Speculating on strategic reserves, right? They got in early, right? But it's dependent, right? To move further, we need to get further adoption, and that stands right now with the government. And I promise you, if the United States does it, how many countries are going to follow? The Japanese president already said, yeah, we're doing whatever the United States does. Essentially, if Trump does it, we're doing it, right? We're doing it, right? So other countries are going to funnel in. They follow the world leaders, right? The United States. I'm not jumping on like a political rampage, but that's what we need in order to see success in this space. It is incredibly important. It is incredibly important we get that government regulation. Let's dive into Phantom. How you doing, Matt from S3V39989? Hey, what's up, man? Thank you for joining into the stream. I'm excited that you're here. Welcome as we build this channel and build this stream to the upside, baby, to the upside. Welcome. I'm excited that you're here. Phantom. Let's go over Sonic, because I think that's what you're talking about, man. I think that's what you're talking about. Sonic, baby. Sonic. I did see this did have. Yeah. It's looking the same chart, different asset, right? Same chart, different asset. It's been absolutely beat down with Bitcoin today. FTM chart has more price history. FTM, yeah, I'll dive into that, man. Let's see. FTM, you want to stick with FTM? Let's do it. US dollar. Oh yeah, baby. Yeah, this was the thing that I thought I did see a big bubble early on, crypto bubble. I thought for sure it was Phantom. All right, let's see. FTM, let's dive in. Hey, this was a massive pump back above where the daily 200 SMA. This does seem like it is having, I wonder if they have a dominance chart. FTM dominance. No, they don't. All right, so whenever you want to look at an asset and comparatively to the rest of the market, right, you can look at like XRP.D, right? It'll tell you the amount of market share, right, like 4.5% that XRP has, right? So it doesn't have that for Phantom, but we're going to dive into this, man. We did get above the daily 200 SMA, a key area, right? Look at this. This is a high volume node. It's looking like right here. Yeah, you are above a high volume node. This asset looks like it's showing relative strength compared to the rest of the market. You have the 21 curving up. That golden cross looks like it's imminent. Now, with the weakness of Bitcoin, right? Let's zoom into the 1 hour. It's going to look pretty similar. It's going to look pretty similar. You're losing that 1 hour 200, right? So where are you likely to come? To the 2 hour 200 at about that 62-cent level. That's a 10% drop from here, right? But you need to get a candle. You need to get back above this 1 hour 200 to prevent us from going to test a 2 hour, and then we'll test a 3 and then the 4, right? Which increasingly get lower as time goes on. Something that I don't like that I'm seeing. Let's see if we got any bear div. No, we don't have bear div, man. We don't have any real bear div. RSI is trending down like normal. You do have what's called hidden bullish divergence. Now, we don't go over this here on the channel very much, right? Because it very rarely rears its head, but it's something that I do like to go over whenever the asset is showing it. And FTM currently looks like we are seeing hidden bullish divergence. You have a swing down. You are making a lower low on the RSI, and you are trying to make a higher low on price. That could be very bullish for the price of FTM in the near future. The same thing rolls as normal bullish divergence and bearish divergence. It says that you will break this high prior to breaking this low, but it is imperative you get this curvature on the RSI right before you get into this oversold region. The 1 hour RSI or the 4 hour RSI is reset. That's looking good. The daily is curving down on you. I don't like how that's looking, right? We're starting to form a pretty big red candle here on the daily, which just opened about 5 hours ago. That was a pretty big drop of about 18%. You need this, man. You need this line in the sand, baby. Line in the sand. That daily 200 to hold. You need it to hold. You're coming down to the high volume nodes. This is going to be a likely area. Let's zoom out here and get that VRVP up to date. That is going to be a likely area where the price does trade hands very, very often. It's important that we hold this 200 daily SMA level in order to see higher price action for FTM. Comparatively to the market, I do like what I'm seeing as Bitcoin's been consolidating / struggling. Look at this, baby. This thing had a pump, baby. This had a pump over the last 10 days, a massive 134% move. Maybe there was some news, maybe something came out about it, but this is looking pretty good to me. Now, what would I be looking for on a push to the upside? I will be careful with my fibs here, pulling from the high to the low, right? Wick to wick. Right, and I'll be speculating on a 618-786 retrace. So I would at least be taking a little bit of profit up here at the table if you're speculating on this 200 MA to hold. I would be taking some profit up in here between that $1 and I'd say around $1.10, $1.15 or so. That's where I would be looking to take some profit around that 706 level, right? I do not want to get to the 786 and test it when Bitcoin is struggling here because a lot of those 786s are going to hold up when the bearish sentiment comes into this market. We're testing the daily 200 SMA as of right now. We are going to keep that on our radar, man. Thank you for bringing that to our attention. Any coins that you guys want to go over, drop them in the chat. I am super excited to go over any coins with you guys. That's what I'm here for. I'm here for you guys. You guys bring coins to our attention, bring coins to my attention. We take trades based off of coins that are dropped in the chat, right? Let's dive in. All right. Thank you for your service, April Mullins. Thank you. Yeah, of course. Anything for a whoa. Look at that wick. What just happened? Look at that wick. I don't know about you guys, but that is one of the biggest wicks I've ever seen, right? Shout out in the chat to anybody who's ever seen a big wick in their life. This is a big 27%. What is that? 27%. Look at this. You're below the 1 hour. Look at that nuke, baby. Look at that. Where'd we come down to? The prior high volume node. Boom. Got a little bit of a bounce. Let's zoom out. We got to update this. That's going to throw everything in the haywire. Look at that. Right? Good night. My uvula. Let's look at that another 1 minute. Look at that, baby. Anybody in leverage got wrecked in a minute. In a minute, anybody that had a 4x position, if you said, oh, I'm going to open up 4x right now, you got wrecked. You got wrecked. Look, like, and that's not how, you don't see that. You don't see that. Look at that wick, baby. That might have been, I hope that was a scam wick. I hope that was a scam wick. Oh my gosh. That was a nasty 1 minute drop of 27%, right? Let's see what Bubbles has in the past 5 minutes. Oh, I wish I would have seen that on the minute, man. That big bubble, big boo-boo, right? Gosh, we cannot seem to get some relief for these altcoins slash Bitcoin. Look at this red, everybody. Since we've been on the stream, how long we've been streaming? We've been streaming for about an hour now. Baby, red, baby. Yeah, Sonic previously Phantom. All right, let's dive into the chat. We went over FTM. That scam wick looked insane, man. Look at the VRVP. Look at all that red. It looks like a dang keyboard right now. But I was looking at it. I looked back to the daily. I was like, what just happened? It is key that this level holds. Does it matter if we wick beneath it? No. You have 19 hours and 25 minutes to close above this candle. And since you've already tested below, and you get a candle closure above, that will verify that this level is serving as support here in the near term. And this high volume node may hold. Look, we held here, we held here, we held here, right? And we dropped below and we went on a nuke mission, right? We got above, we went on a nuke mission to the upside, baby, on a rocket shot. And now we're here again, testing this key point of control. It's very important that we hold that. Very important. All right, let's dive into the chat. New to the stream, how you doing, Matt? Hey, what's up, man? What's up? Sonic is at FTM, but the FTM charts have more price history. Okay, I understand. Sonic was the bubble you saw. Yep. Sonic. Yeah. Sonic was the bubble we saw. I know Sonic went on a massive, something happened with Sonic earlier. I don't know if it was a, man, I'm not seeing it here in the charts. I just remember earlier we had a massive, it was like a 35% bubble, a nice 35% bubble to the upside. Was this today? 07. No. All right, let's dive in. Sonic was the bubble you saw, man. Yeah, that div coming in strong. Your Sonic bag's your biggest position. All right, man, let's zoom out on the daily and let's look. Hey, all right, look, the FTM chart does have more price history, right? So we'll look at that. Hey, listen. Sonic, look, the Phantom chain has gotten some hate, right, in the past, right, and it absolutely nuked. It was having some tough times, right, but it has seen a resurgence. I really do think Phantom is going to come back really strong. Whenever you see these decentralized exchanges start to roll over to the meme coins like Jupiter and things like that. Jupiter took a massive tumble. I know I saw Jupe sub 70 cents. What is that? That's carnage in the markets, everybody. That's carnage, right? So I do think Phantom can really do some numbers over time. Yeah, I think as a long-term hold, Phantom's going to do well, but you got to ignore this smaller price action, right? This price action until Bitcoin gets some footing, everything's going to struggle, right? You notice on here, when Bitcoin's red, you see big red, baby. You see big red. These boo-boos getting big. Right, so it's important that Bitcoin finds some levels if you want to have any hope for your altcoins. Drop your questions in the chat, everybody. Drop your questions in the chat. We went over Bitcoin div. We went over or Bitcoin dominance. We went over total 3. We went over crypto bubbles. We went over the active trades, which are none right now. We went over the fear and greed index, which is currently sitting at 29. Total market cap of all cryptocurrencies. Let's see what we're sitting at right now. Looking like we're sitting at under $3 trillion. Everybody, that is disgusting. Looking just like Bitcoin. We fell off that high volume node right here, and where are we likely to come to the next one at 2.28 trillion? That would be an absolute carnage for the altcoins. I want to tell you guys, I'm not saying that this is the top. I don't think that this is the top. I think we could definitely come down and test this support level, right? But there's tops to these markets, everybody, and every time that we've seen a top, people were convinced that it wasn't the top. And when we were at 20K, people were like, 100K inbound, it's gonna get to 100K. I know we're going to the moon, baby, to the moon, right? The last time we had a run up, right? Everybody was convinced 100K here. Everybody was convinced, 100K back here, right? And I know we're looking at total crypto market cap, but people were convinced we were going to see 100K years ago. And now we're finally there, and you're seeing some pretty heavy price targets. I'm not saying that this was the top, but we got to keep that on our radar that it may not happen as fast as we want it to, right? You're looking at the total crypto market cap. I'm seeing kind of a flag here on the weekly. I really want it to hold. It's got to hold here. We're already falling below the 21. I don't like that. All right, let's pull up the 50 here. I think the 50 has held. Yeah, we'll put these on here. Let's see what the bands are doing. I think the 50 has been the thing that's held Bitcoin up pretty substantially over its past. We've lost the 21. Where do we come to support? The 50, right? So we lose the 21, you come and test the 50. We're testing the 21 right now in the weekly, ladies and gentlemen. The 50 sitting down at 75 grand. I'm not being a bear. I'm not being a bear. I promise. I'm not being a bear. I think we're going higher this cycle, but I'm saying in the near term, we could get a liquidity sweep. And if that's in the form of just a wick, right, it could happen. Let's see what happened last time, right? We lost the 21. Where we go? We went to the 50, right? The 50, the 50. I know it's not on the perpetuals, right? Let's see Bitcoin USD, right? But we came to the 50, the 50, the 50. We lose the 50, and that was it, man. Like you come to the 50, support, you lose the 21, you come to the 50. You get back above the 21, woo, we're good to go. 21, 50 get tight, you got a big push to the upside. We lost the 21, we came to the 50, we lost the 50. We came to the 100, right? We got a little bounce there. Couldn't get back above the 21 or the 50. We never get too far from the 21, remember? And then we got a massive dump to the downside, which started the bear market, everybody. So these are key levels that you want to watch. You want to watch this ribbon as it starts to expand, right? I usually only keep the 21 and the 200 because it matches my trading strategy pretty close. It always matches my trading strategy, just the 21 and the 200. I don't usually use the others, but on the bigger time frames, we have to acknowledge that the 50 has served as massive, massive, massive support for Bitcoin over the course of time, right? On the bigger time frames. So we do have this weekly bearish divergence that is screaming. It's screaming, boys, crypto, we're going to wreck you, man. We're going to wreck you if you consider going long. This bearish divergence says, and I'm not saying this is going to happen. It says, boys, crypto, we are going to break below 50K before we break above 108K. That's not what I think is going to happen, but that's what the charts are saying. It's possible when that bearish div does form. Now in prior bull markets, we've had bear div form, right? And we broke below that prior low before going and testing the high again, like right here, right? Look at this. Look at this. The last time this happened in 21, right? We had bear div on the weekly. We had that shoot up in price, right? And we had a falling RSI on the weekly time frame. We made a lower high, right? What happened? It said we were going to break this low, right? Boop, before we broke this high. And did we? Yes. Yes. Yes, we did. We came down and we broke that low, right? We broke that low and then we continued to higher prices. We did have a wick here. We did have a wick. I will acknowledge that. We did have a wick, right? But that bearish div eventually did kick in. It may take some time to kick in, right? And then you had this more massive bearish divergence form on the weekly. And then that right here, boop, this bearish div. Let's clean this up, everybody. Let's clean it up. Don't like messy charts, right? All right, cool. We had this more massive bearish div form on the weekly. Boop, boop, boop. That swing up and the swing down on the RSI, and we went into the bear market, right? We broke below this low before we broke above this high, and that led to the bear market, right? We got above the daily 200 SMA, and then that resumed the bull market, right? So that's currently where we're sitting right now. Bitcoin at $92,000, everybody, kind of hanging around in that range as we speak. Can we look at SEI? SEI is really cool, man. Yeah, let's dive into SEI. Let's dive into SEI. I like SEI. You know what's cool about SEI? SEI was just purchased by the World Liberty Financial wallet, right? World Liberty 5, baby, Trump's big wallet. They just made a giant purchase of SEI just the other day when it was down here, and that caused a massive pump for SEI. I think it was like, it had to have been close to 50%, 40, 50%. Woo! Oh, I'm looking at the hour on the daily. Yeah, this was a massive pump for SEI on that World Liberty Financial news. We did get a 35% pump out of SEI, a gaming token, right? Gaming, not an asset that I'm super, I'm not saying I'm not bullish on, right? But it's just not part of my investment portfolio, right? I don't know a lot about it. And I know this was supposed to be a SUI competitor that just got absolutely beaten down. It was keeping pretty good track back here, early December, ripping up, and people were speculating, oh, is this the next SUI? We started to flag out here. It looked really good, that nice long flagpole, and it just ended up breaking to the downside. The team did start selling off a little bit. During that time, I did read that news on X, so that may have contributed to that. But hey, are we forming a cup and handle here for SEI? If Donald Trump's behind it, I don't understand how the president can be behind these coins, right, and just let them dump to oblivion. How do they have hundreds of millions of dollars in crypto and it's about to be going into a bear market? That doesn't make sense to me. That doesn't make sense in my mind, how the president can be accumulating these big projects like Ethereum, right? He has wrapped Bitcoin, right, on ETH. He has SEI. He has Ondo. He has Chainlink. World Liberty Financial hasn't made any money yet, everybody. The entire wallet is down massively, and it hasn't made any money. And they're still looking for investors, right? And they got investors, but man, is this the beginning of a cup and handle here, right? For SEI. What does Trump know that we don't know? I don't know. He's the president. I'll never know, right? Even though, hey, we constantly tweeted him, everybody. We constantly tweeted him. Maybe one day he'll see Boys Crypto's X tweets, and he's like, hey, Trump, at Trump, what's going on, man? It'd be really good to hear from you about this crypto market. Let's tweet at our buddy Donald Trump on the Boys Crypto Twitter account, and let's see if we could get some reply. I would love to get a reply from good old Donald Trump. Donald, my man. Donald, my man. Let's see. Donald, my man. Did I just start a recording on here? I might have. No, I didn't. Okay. Donald, my man. I want to catch up this year. Let's stop this crypto dump. Please stop this carnage. Love, Matt. All right, and we'll tweet it at POTUS. There we go. President Donald Trump. We're in there like swimwear, baby. Come on, Donald. If you're watching this, Donald, come on in, baby. We want to get your perspective. I'd be happy to host you on the on the Boys Crypto show for my followers. Yes, that would be awesome. All right, let's dive into the chat. Sin Nasty Kid said auction. Yeah, it is. Yeah, if you're referring to this being a sale, it definitely, my mic. It definitely does seem like we are getting some big sales. And on these projects, everybody, when they were running up, everybody was saying, oh man, I wish I got back in when it was, X, Y, and Z. And this is the opportunity, everybody. If you're looking for that opportunity, there are people that are like, man, I wish I got Bitcoin under 100K, and now it's under 100K, and they're, oh, I'm not touching that. What in the world? That's trash right now. Look at the chart. Yeah, I mean, that's the reality. It takes some courage to buy in the fear here. And again, I'm not a financial advisor. Nothing I do or say or should be taken as financial advice. But this is the time to be accumulating those projects, in my opinion, that you really, really believe in, right? Wanda, you believe in that virtual. It's not a bad idea to pick up a little virtual. Don't dump your whole bank in the virtuals, but pick up a little virtual. Hey, $20 here, $30 here. Yeah, I'll buy some virtual. That way, if it falls 50%, it is what it is. But then you get that run back up to the high and you're up $150. You're like, yeah, I got virtual back at $1. I got virtual back at $1. No big deal, right? And it runs up to $10-20 and you're like, man, I'm rolling in it now. With a $20-30 investment, that's not bad. Averaging in as you go down, I believe we're going to get some footing for virtual here whenever Bitcoin decides to stop this carnage. All right, let's jump into the chat. Man, you guys are working the uvula today. Woo! All right. That div coming in though. Yep, Sinasty Kid, what's up, man? Yep, can you review SEI? Yeah, we went over SEI. Sol took a beating. Why did Sol take a beating, everybody? Why did Sol take a beating? Let's dive into that. There's been a ton of speculation around the Solana chart, right? The Solana chart. Solana taking an absolute beatdown, down over 50% from its highs back when? When was this high, everybody? Yes, when Donald Trump's meme coin topped out, right back here at around January 19th. Everybody was aping into Solana. I need to get some Solana so I can get me some Trump coin, right? They got in and they got absolutely wrecked, right? But whenever Trump started to struggle and Melania started to struggle, these coins got absolutely obliterated, right? Why? They sell their soul and they go back to USD, right? So what are we looking at for Solana here? Well, there's a ton of bearish sentiment around Solana right now. Why? Why, Boys Crypto, is that? Because of the bad taste is left in its mouth after these three big projects that have come on the Solana chain, which people trust and people love, and got absolutely wrecked. You had Donald Trump's Trump coin, right? Came on, absolutely wrecked. Rug pull by the president of the United States. That is sad, right? Melania coin, rug pull. I don't care what you say about it. Rug pull, everybody. That was a rug pull, right? What was the other one? Libra, the president of Argentina being brought up. You guys are trying to get me on my meme. You're trying to indirectly get me on my meme rant. I know it, right? Rug pull, Libra, right? That president's being brought up on fraud charges. I don't know how the first lady isn't, or our president isn't, right? After that massive rug pull, made billions of dollars overnight. No big deal. I don't, I'm not a lawyer or anything, but to me, that was the same thing. He promoted it on Twitter, right? Just like just like the president of Argentina did. I failed to see a difference between what the president of Argentina did and what the president of the United States did. That's all I'll say about that. You guys are trying to get me on my meme coin rant, and you guys know I'll get my uvula dry, and I'll get woohoo! You'll get me on my meme coin rant. All right, but, you know, again, we are coming down to key support, though, on Solana. If this level holds, it looks really good. But Solana went on a massive rampage here, right? And there's not a lot of testing down in this level. You have a couple other key support levels. Right here's the next one that I'm seeing, right down here at about that $85 level. Below that, you don't have any. You don't have any key support levels, right? You have the prior resistance here at about 45. And we got to acknowledge this, everybody, that, you know, a year and a half ago, Solana was trading at $19. You know, this massive run up, right, with the massive bearish sentiment that's in the space right now, it could get bloody for Solana, and it could get bloody very, very quickly. You're on your 6th straight red week for Solana. This can get bloody, everyone. Look at these daily candles falling below the daily 200 SMA. You have the 21 crossing the 200 to the downside. A death cross, baby. Do we have a little death emoji here? You know, everybody's angry about Solana. You know, we'll put that right there. Everybody mad about the death cross, and everybody's mad that it may go down to lower prices, and these are your key support levels. You're coming down to one right now. Currently, you're sitting, let's see where the high volume node sits. Let's see where the high volume node sits. This is everybody's face right now. When we woke up this morning, everybody, we saw this, and that's what my face was. Yeah, I was looking like Donald Trump's. I was looking at like Donald Trump's mugshot. I don't know if you guys ever seen that. That's what I was looking at. I was looking like Donald Trump's mugshot. I love Donald Trump's mugshot. Donald, my man. Let's see Donald Trump. This is what everybody was looking like this morning, right here. Oh yeah, baby, you got the red eyes. You're tired. You woke up, getting ready for your 9 to 5, hoping that your internet money is going to the moon, baby. And you see you open up crypto bubbles, and you're just with the eyebrows. Look at those eyebrows, man. You got to go get some threading. All right, back to Solana. Go back to Solana. You're getting that death cross on the daily, baby. You're getting that death cross on the daily, falling beneath that high volume node that has been established here. Let's let the VRVP update. You are beneath that high volume node area. That is a key area to hold. You're falling down this support level, right? You lose this, you're coming back down to the next high volume node, which sits currently at about $100, right? Solana is on a free fall. One of the weaker big chains in the market right now. I would watch your Solana bags, everybody. I would watch your Solana bags. Now, this could be an area, right? Speculating, right? You're speculation, right? Let's go in here. Let's zoom it up. I know sometimes I inflect my voice like that. I promise you guys, you know, I am straight. All right, let's see. We're coming down to that 886 level, right? The 786 was currently sitting right above that high volume node area. You're coming down to the 886, right? According to the fib, let's pull it to the wick. Big wick right there. Right, you're coming to the 886. That's gotta hold. That's gotta hold. You're unlikely to see a double bottom at a wick, right? And you lose this key support level right here. You're going down for a massive nuke, right? And you gotta think, there's so much money in Solana right now. Let's look at the cryptocurrency, crypto market cap. You have Solana right now, currently $69 billion in the Solana ecosystem. If Solana takes an absolute nuking, right? Say Solana does fall back to that, you know, $50, $60 level, right? You're talking about a Solana about $35 billion that can be reinvested elsewhere in the space, and maybe in the projects that people are going to shift to from Solana. That's the speculation aspect of it, right? What's going to be the next Solana, right? Is there going to be another Solana? Have people lost faith in this? There is inflation on Solana, right? There is inflation on Solana. Notice whenever you're looking at the total market cap, right? Solana, right? Solana market cap, we go back, right? Woo! We go back, right? And right here, Solana, you know, back in March of 24, right? Oh, where'd the chart go? Where'd the chart go? Anyway, Solana wasn't at an all-time high here, right? Even though we were breaking the all-time high in the market cap, right? Solana wasn't, because more Solana gets printed all the time. It does have an inflation number to it, right? That gets decided by a committee and how many transactions are done on Solana and everything. But it is important to know that Solana isn't like Bitcoin where there's a fixed supply, and that's important to look at whenever you're looking at these bigger assets, right? You can click on it right here. It'll tell you the market cap, right? But the supply, whoop, it doesn't have a max supply. Look, you got that infinity number, everybody. You got that infinity number. Kind of looks like a booty. Other words for booty, right? Is that the donkey's behind right there? Like, it looks like it, right? Yeah, ass, right? You don't want it to, you have a max supply there of infinity, right? So they can constantly print more Solana. Unlike you go back here to Bitcoin, right? You go back here to Bitcoins, right? Shout out to Crypto Kirby. Miss you, dude. I don't know where you're at, but Crypto Kirby, man, come on back. This is where your bearishness would be really helpful, right? You have a max supply of 21 million Bitcoin. You not see an infinity symbol right there. So whenever you're looking at an asset to get into, it's very important to look at, hey, can there ever be any more? Can there be more? Or is there a fixed amount, right, of this asset? It's important to know. It's important to know, right? Whenever you're doing your investment decisions. All right, let's dive in. We reviewed SEI. Yep, SEI. Sol took an absolute beating. You got to speculate, man. Is that the end of Solana? I'm not saying that it is, but it definitely could be. You could argue, is this the end for Ethereum, right? That's where we're looking at Bitcoin dominance. There's so much more money in Bitcoin now, and it's taking up so much more market share. And Bitcoin really, I will say this, Bitcoin is showing right now why it's the king asset, why it's the number one asset. It is showing that strength right now, right? And there are one-offs like XRP and Mantra DAO that are outperforming Bitcoin, but 99% of coins have not been able to outperform Bitcoin. No coin has outperformed Bitcoin since its inception. None, right? Bitcoin has been the best performing asset in the history of the world and will continue to be so, in my humble opinion. I do think that dominance does have a shot at breaking to the upside, but right now, speculatively, Bitcoin is taking over as king right now, and it's imperative, and it's imperative to understand that when we're looking at the charts, and I'm just speaking from a charting perspective, that is what the charts are screaming at us right now. That is what the charts are screaming at us right now. All right, that's the most going to happen with manipulation and coin farming by these big players. That's a good point. True. Michaela with the hearts, appreciate you. The coin auction. Yeah, Wanda looking at the virtual. Awesome. That's what we're looking at. Let's see Bitcoin again. Let's go back to the king asset, right? The Bitcoin king asset. I'm not a maxi either, right? Everybody, I am speculative on these altcoins, but we need to see some relief here for Bitcoin. We need to. It is imperative, right? But the more I look at it, the more this is screaming that this is a bear flag here. The more I'm looking at it, that this is a bear flag, that was a bearish to me, that's what that's looking like to me. I'm gonna be sitting on my hands here, everybody, and looking at how price action develops over the course of the next couple days. This bear flag does look nasty, right? We did get that push, breakdown, push up, bearish retest. Are we coming down to the downside? That high volume node currently is holding. If we get this drop, it could be very, very quickly in the matter of an hour, 2 hours. And we don't want to see that form on the chart, right? You get this massive rounded top, and then you're looking at catching the falling knife scenario. And when you're trying to long and catching the falling knife scenario, you're going to get it wrong 9 times out of 10. Long in the falling knife is very, very tough, especially when you're breaking key support levels like right here, right? That have been forming in the charts. And we are in this is the line in the sand, everybody. Look at this. If this was, let's flip this upside down. I love flipping things upside down, right? I love flipping things upside down. Let's see. When I get mad in the gym, I flip things upside down. All right, let's see. We got it looks like that's the double top right there. You're trading above the high volume node. Tell me this isn't something that we would speculate on a long on, right? So we're inverse, so we're going to have to go short, right? So you put a stop below the low, you go 2 to 1. Is that not something that you would look to long? That's just speculation. You got to look at the charts as they present themselves, right? Is that not something you would look to long? You got the daily 200 MA, and I would be taking profits right there on my long, right? Inverse short. But you got to look at the charts like that. Oh, look, we're getting above the high volume node. We're likely to come up to the next one. These are the plays, that look likely, right? Based on what the charts are telling us. That looks like a giant double bottom to me, right? It just does. And that's just what the charts are saying, but this would be a likely short to play out. Let's flip it back around. Yeah, baby. And no one wants to see that. That takes you down to 67K based on that long to the next high volume node, right? Of course, you'd have to bring your stop to break even, do all the stuff that you should be doing as a good trader, right? But this looks nasty. And I'm not all bear, doom and gloom. I'll be watching throughout the night for bearish divergence to form on these higher time frames. Look how oversold we are. Look at this oversold level that we're forming right here. Look at the RSI, how deep red it is. Let's put a line there and see the last time we were this oversold. Right? Nope. We were here, right? And we did get a relief bounce, right? We were here and we got more carnage, but you don't get this oversold very often on the 1 hour. You did here and you got a relief, right? You did here and you got a very strong relief to come up and break the high. You did here, right? And you got more carnage. But like, so you don't get this oversold that often on the 1 hour. On the 4 hour, right? Whoop, 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 whoop. On the 4 hour, right? We're sitting in that oversold level, coming back up to fair value, but your signal line's still pretty high up there. I would have really liked to see this bullishly engulf. Like, that's what we needed to see, right? In order to speculate that this may have been the swing low that we were looking for. We already ate that liquidity. Are we coming down for this wick? We already took this wick out. Yeah, you know, and that's at 89K. And that wasn't long ago. That was on the 13th of January, that mass capitulation event, right? You know, we had this one on the February 2nd. We came down all the way to, you know, 90K. And here we are only $1,000, you know, $2,000 higher than that. That we are on dangerous ground, ladies and gentlemen. We are on dangerous ground. And it's important to look at. And I'm not all doom and gloom. I'm going to be looking for bullish div to form throughout the night. I want to start seeing it, you know, here on the lower time frames. And I speculated on this earlier, right? With the bullish div on the 15-minute, it wasn't working out. We have the moving averages fanning out here. Right? The moving average is starting to fan. That's not a good sign, right? Whenever we get above the 200, we start to fan, you know, it could capitulate pretty hard, right? Whether that's to the upside or to the downside, right? And this is why I'm sitting on my hands right now. Bear flag, baby, bear flag. I'm not being all bear. I think this will be very temporary, right? I think if we get a drop, I really do think if we get a drop, it's going to be something like this. It's going to be like it's going to be like a massive, like one of these things, right? I think we're going to get some kind of V-shaped recovery back up in here, and I think it'll happen very quickly just to flush leverage out of this market. You know, everybody's got their opinions on where price is going to go here in the near term, but I'm here to tell you that nobody knows where price is going to go, baby. Nobody knows where price is going to go. Bitcoin could go to 50K tomorrow. Nobody knows. Nobody knows. I'm here to tell you, right? All we're doing is analyzing probabilities. And right now, being underneath this high volume node, the probability is that there's more downside likely to come down to this daily 200 MA. You got to keep that on your radar. You got to keep that on your radar. I love flipping stuff upside down like I do at the gym, right? I love flipping stuff upside down, right? That is, you know, this would be something that we would be looking the long, right? Above the high volume node, you know, you could flip the RSI upside down. You could flip everything upside down. You know, the RSI is trending upward. You're looking at, we'll flip the stochastics pushing up into overbought, where it could get pinned, right? And you could get some massive action to the upside. So, you know, and this is inverse, so that'd be downside. It's just something you want to keep in on your radar while you're trading. We're at 91.8 right now for Bitcoin. It is struggling right here. Look at this. I don't like that rounding. Everything is shaping up to be, I'm not being all doom and gloom, but I'm saying that everything is kind of shaping up for this downward price action. Look for we could be on the cusp of a massive liquidation event, right? A big dip and rip. They love to do it. They love to do it. Look at that dip, rip. They love to do that kind of price action. When did they do that last? During this capitulation event. Look at this. Everybody was all doom and gloom right here, right? And then, you know, they caught it and ripped it back up 11% for Bitcoin. We went from 91K, you know, in less than a day to 101,000, just like that. But it happened after a massive liquidation event for the longs. They trapped all these shorts down here and then they started liquidating shorts to the upside. Does that not look similar? Does that not look similar to what we're doing right now? We had that initial drop. We had that rollover, initial drop. We had that rollover, right? Are we down for another one? It could happen, but you know, we got to be looking for that bounce here. What got us out of here, right? What got us out of here? We look down to the 15-minute, right? We zoom on in. We zoom on into that massive capitulation event that we had. What got us out of here, right? This is February. Where's February 2nd at? Boop, 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 boop. What got us out of here, ladies and gentlemen? We had bull dip forming forever, right? We had that swing up in price action, right? And we were swinging down on price massively, right? Eventually, these two lines will cross, and that's bull dip for you, right? That eventually kicked us up to the upside. That bull dip says, and you're gonna break that high before you broke that low, and that did happen. But we formed it here. It didn't fall through. We formed it here. Did not follow through. We formed it here. And that's the first time that it fell through right there, everybody. So that bullish div was forming for a long time on the 15 before it kicked in. There's no guarantees in trading, right? But it's just probabilities. But that's what you'll be looking for on a nuke to the downside. You got to look for bull div on like the 5-minute or the 1-minute, right? Get in on that kind of action, right? If you're speculating on a reversal. If you long trying to catch the falling knife, you're totally gambling. You are 100% gambling. We're not gamblers here, right? We're taking statistical probabilities and trying to turn them into a little bit of cash, a little bit of dough, so we can buy our ladies some more gold, right? We buy our ladies some more gold. That's why we're all here, to get our ladies some more gold, right? I understand. You guys got my uvula going. Woo, I'm excited. Hey, thank you everybody for being here at the stream tonight. I know it was kind of, we were scheduled for 9:30. This is where we're going to be streaming every single night, everybody. We're going to keep rolling. As long as we got stuff going in the chat, we'll keep going. I'll stay up all night with you, baby. I don't have these bags anymore. When I was in the Navy, my bags were halfway down my cheeks. It was really bad. It was really, really bad. Look like 2 giant purple sacks hanging there. I used to store stuff in them. It was bad, right? I'm used to that late night life. Let's go, baby. Let's go. I'm excited to be here with you guys. All right, the coin auction. Yep. Sin Nasty Kid, thanks for being here. PMG fam, let's go. We got sounds good. Check USDT dominance. Why would we want to look at USDT dominance? Thank you for bringing that up. So USDT.dominance. USDT dominance is telling us when people are starting to hold cash, right? When people are starting to hold cash, it gives us signs. Look at that whip. Oh! That's not good. Looking at this chart, anybody who watches this channel knows, and we'll beat this with a dead horse, right? I'm going to get a beat with a dead horse meme going on here. Maybe I'll use my dogs. Just joking. But look, we break above the daily 200 SMA on any asset. I'm a bull. I was the bear here, right? And when was this? This was our massive run. Look, November 6th. We had a massive run on Bitcoin falling to the downside, right? 27% pump, pretty much correlated with the 30%, 40% pump that we had on Bitcoin, right? USDT dominance measures the amount of tether that is held in people's wallets, how much dry powder, how much cash, baby, they have ready to deploy in the market. This is showing us that people are, oh my gosh, man, the monsters, they're backfiring on me right now. This is showing us that people are holding cash and people are getting fearful, right? And it's a good measure of how much fear is in the market, right? When USDT dominance starts going up, look at this hourly moonshot, baby, forming a flag. This is not good. So what does this say? This says the average USDT balance is going to increase very soon, right? You could chart anything, everybody. You could chart everything. All right. And this looks like it's about to take another moonshot, right? Out of a flag. This would be devastating, not just for Bitcoin at 7%, right? This would say that the average USDT balance is about to increase by 7%, a 7% drop in a lot of assets. People are going to be selling everything. People are going to be selling their stocks. Gold's going to probably hold up. Let's look at gold in a minute. USDT dominance looks like it's about to go on a tear. That means your average wallet size is going to increase when it comes to tether, right? Are people depositing, getting ready for a bigger move, or are people just selling out of assets based on prices, baby? Based on these big red boo-boos that we have here on the day, this is telling me that we are likely going to have a move to the upside. Something I am liking right now for USDT dominance, baby. We are looking at this daily, this hourly bearish div starting to form. Look how it's starting to roll over. I got to get zoomed in here. We got this new ultra wide monitor, right? Let's see. All right. We are looking at a slight swing up in price action while we're getting that rounding here. Bearish div forming, right? That's not saying much, but it's saying that we may break that low before we break this. Break that low before we break this high. That's what we want to see in order to see money starting to flow back into assets. This flag does eventually play out and burst to the upside, right? I am seeing some bearish div there, so it may struggle a little bit. But this 21, we flag out, even if we flag out like this, we use the wick. And the 21 comes into price action, the lifer vision, right? Shout out to Sam Price, getting up in the price action right there with the 21. We can look to moon to the upside for USDT dominance. This is giving warnings. This is just warning signs, everybody. I don't know what's going to happen, but this is warning signs here saying that the average balance is about to increase pretty massively. And from a 4.85 to a 5.2% doesn't seem like much, but that is a massive move for tether dominance, looking at about 7%. Looking back on the daily, this is where people are starting to get scared, right? Look back, when was the last time tether dominance was this high? It was COVID, baby. It was the 2022 crap. Where's COVID at? 21. Look at that moonshot. That's COVID right there, right? May of 21. Everybody got scared. USDT dominance went on a moonshot, right? Now you're testing a key support resistance flip, right? You flip this into support and you move higher. And you don't have tether dominance being this high for a long time. we break above this daily 200 MA, we could be looking for a moonshot. I promise you, if we double on USDT dominance, you're looking at a massive crash in all assets across the world. That would be devastating, everybody. Thank you for bringing USDT dominance up to us. It is important to keep looking at USDT dominance to gauge the fear in the market. That goes perfectly with our fear and greed index. Our fear and greed index here at around 20. Where were we at? Where were we at today? Come on. Oh, Comcast at 29, right? We were at 25. The day closed. We kind of had a little bit of a push. Were we in the 30s? I don't remember. Hold on. Let's click here. Historical values yesterday was 40. Today is 29. We are sitting in a deep fear, everybody. We're in fear. This is just fear. Deep fear is red. Deep fear is red, baby. And, last month we were in greed. We're at 61 all the way up here. It's crazy how this dial can move. And it's like your gas tank. It is just like your gas tank. If you look at the greed and fear, or the fear and greed index, you could think of it like your gas tank. You're getting low here. I don't know how you guys are, but I run this baby to empty, man. That 2009 Toyota Corolla vintage, it's not really vintage to me, but that 2009 Toyota Corolla base models with the hand crank windows and with the gas tank getting about 30 miles to the gallon, one of the most superior vehicles in the United States, in my opinion, right? It's pretty hot. If you ever see me driving around, you guys can definitely take some photos if you want. Just don't scratch the paint, okay? So the bumper is falling off, so you'll know it's me. If this comes down to the extreme fear, just like your gas tank is getting on extreme E, and my Corolla light only comes on sometimes because it doesn't work all the time, right? I'm gonna fill up, right? I'm gonna fill up, baby, and that's when you want to start loading up onto your cryptos, right? You could argue, at a quarter tank I start filling up. Well, is that your risk management, right? Are you risking your tank going empty, right? Like that can definitely happen, right? Is this when you're gonna start filling up? Are you gonna start filling up here? Are you one of those crazy people that start filling up about that 2/3, right? That gas tank metaphor, right, is very applicable to the fear and greed. What do you do up here? Do you start buying gas? You buy gas and you get to the next gas station down the road and you're still over the filled with fuel indicator, right? The F. And you're above, you're at 99% of your gas. You're gonna stop for more gas and start putting more money in there, right? No, that doesn't make much sense, right? You want to start buying in the fear and selling in the greed. The gas tank analogy, baby, super important to think about when you're looking at any asset and the sentiment around the market, right? So looky here. Oh yeah, Warren Buffett is sitting on historically the biggest cash pile Berkshire Hathaway's ever sitting on either. I did read that today. I thought that was very interesting, right? But USDT dominance, zooming out, the weekly, the 3-day. Yeah, we're getting some. Yeah, you got some bull div here on the 3-day that did kick us out of here, right, for USDT dominance. Thank you for bringing this up, man. I haven't looked at this chart in a minute. I got to look at this chart more. This is giving us some signs here. We got that kick to the upside saying that you're going to break this high before you break this low, and we certainly did, right? That bull div did play out, and now you're pushing to the upside, almost into that overbought region on the 3-day, but you're coming up to a high volume node, currently sitting just a little bit above it, right? And it looks like we could continue to higher prices. You break that daily, where are we going, baby? Where are we going? This daily holds, and the 21 comes up to price action. You get a golden cross on the daily. Woo! You're gonna skyrocket to the upside. Bad for all assets, right? Because that means people are gonna start selling, right, and depositing cash onto exchanges, maybe to load up. That does not look good. That does not look good to me, right, in the near term. That even just that move right there up to 5.57%, that's speculating on our flag, right? That pulls up further than our flag, right, on the 1 hour, right? If this does decide to flag out, I'm gonna zoom in here for you guys because I know you're not, you don't have hawk vision. But you got this flag right here. If this does play out to the upside, right, you're not even getting close to the 3-day 200 SMA, right? That flag comes up to about 5.15. That 3-day 200 SMA, you could see an absolute moonshot right here. Look at these candles. It didn't take long, everybody. This was 9 days, a 9-day 40% move, a 40% increase in cash on exchanges. That's devastating. That's devastating. All right, so that's USDT dominance in a nutshell. That is awesome to look at. Thank you for bringing that up. So, hey, man, you're a legend for bringing that up. Thank you for bringing that to our attention. I will be keeping up with USDT dominance nightly on the stream. Now, I'm going to keep this. I'm going to write this down. The USDT dominance, oost dominance, baby. We got to keep an eye on it. It's super important when we're looking. I got my handy dandy notebook here. All right, looking into the chat. Let's see, baby. All right, April wants to look at eggs. I don't know if you guys seen eggs at the supermarket. They're screaming to the upside. Oh my gosh, the eggs chart. Yeah, we'll look at eggs real quick, just briefly. We've been over it a couple times. It's not a lot. You can chart anything, baby. You can chart the eggs. eggs. Now, this is eggs that you find in the grocery store, not eggs in the UD. You know what I mean? All right, so we got some grade A large eggs. Eggs are at a all-time high, ladies and gentlemen, an all-time high. The only hope eggs have is to we charted this earlier. We charted this long ago, speculating on this kind of playing out, but man, we just got that massive rip to the upside, dip and rip, and now look at the 21 curving. That could get violent. That could get very, very violent, and there's not a lot of data. Look at this. This thing goes all the way back to September of 1980. A lot of us weren't even alive. I wasn't, right? I don't know. I wasn't alive, right? But you know, my parents were, and you know, you used to be able to get eggs back at 96 cents, right? We used to get eggs back at, look at this, at $1.23. That was in 2019. Now you're looking at $5 a dozen for eggs. This is a horrible, horrible chart to look at, because you break this, you're in what's called a blue skies breakout, everybody. You're in a blue skies breakout. You got to form some bear div here, or we're just going to rocket to the upside. Are we going to see, you know, are we going to see, you know, massive prices for eggs soon? $8, $9, $10 a dozen. It's definitely possible, right? All right, that's eggs in a nutshell. Let's move on there. Yeah, you're on a blue skies breakout for eggs, baby, for eggs. The 3 days, you don't have a lot of data, but the 3 days saying eggs, baby. Boom, boom, boom. All right, can we look at the coin called Auction? Auction coin, auction USDT, same as Bounce coin. Auction, baby. Auction, let's dive in. Auction perpetuals. Hey. Woo, man, found something with some strength here. I love that. Right? Let's dive in. What is this? Auction, baby. I'll have to do a little bit of research. On a tear. Does not seem to care what Bitcoin's doing. Bitcoin's on a, you know, struggling here at just under 92,000. And Auction said, baby, I don't care. We're going to get back above that 200 MA and start pushing further to the upside, right? Let's zoom out here and get as much data as we can on the profile. These are the perpetual contracts, right? So these are like the leverage positions that you see. Let's see if we could look at it on USDT, AUCT. No, Wanda, I do not believe Auction is the same as Bounce coin. Two different things. We'll look into it though. Bounce is a meme coin. Bounce is definitely a meme coin. Or maybe that's Bonk. We'll have to look at it. We'll look into it. All right. So you are forming this nice little trend line, you know, pushing to the upside. This does look kind of parabolic, right? A parabolic when it comes to a rounded bottom, right? You could get this absolute moonshot, and you could get what's called a shooting star pattern out of that. You may get a nice push to the upside out of that, but you're getting over the daily 200 SMA, baby. This is the same thing. Rinse and repeat. You got above the daily 200, and what happened? You had a massive monumental run to the upside. You got below the daily 200. You did close a candle, but you got back above. We did not close a full daily candle below the 200, right? You got that as support. You absolutely moon to the upside, right? You got down here, tested daily 200, moon to the upside. You got down here, you tested the 200, you fell below, you could not hold it, turned into resistance to the downside, 54%. Look at this red line, everybody. Is this the opportunity for Auction to get a massive move to the upside? It really does look likely, right? Based off of breaking above that 200 MA. We are getting above that, a little far from the 21, but we are above the high volume node, right? So I would keep an eye on that high volume node here for Auction, right? And see if we could gap up to the next one at about 1805. That looks like a very promising project right now in the space. Definitely showing a lot of strength here. Let's see if it ranks on crypto bubbles. This thing's got to be low market cap, man. It's got to be. What's the market cap? Auction. Whoop! Man, I can find it on Deck Screener here. Good old Trumpy. Man, wasn't that crazy that the president was getting booked? Woo! What a legend. All right. Let's see. I just liked it for the furrowed eyebrows. Come on, Comcast. Auction is the same as Bounce token. Yes, Wanda. All right. So we're going to look at on USDC. Yeah. USDC. Let's dive in. Nope. Not the right one. That's the thing about Deck Screener, everybody. It's tough to find, like, even what you're looking at unless you're pasting a contract address. Auction, bounce, 9 months, 11 days. This is the one. $1.5 million market cap. Low market cap. Low market cap, baby. It is. It is what it is. But the low market cap coins do have the tendency, right, to be able to do whatever they want, you know. They do have that ability to do whatever they want whenever it comes to the price of Bitcoin, right? Bitcoin struggles. Something that's $1.5 million isn't necessarily going to struggle in market cap because people have a relatively small amount of the token, right? In general, there's 344K of liquidity, 25% in liquidity. I do like what I'm seeing there for a bounce token. You may have found us a little low cap gem here, baby. A little low cap gem. This is on, yeah, on BitSwap, on Wrap, Binance maybe. Yeah, this looks really good. This looks really good. I mean, it is an older coin. It has established some validity in the market, you know, with some price action here. We're looking at the daily time frame. This has been on an absolute rampage. I don't know, some news or something came out, but this has been on a tear. Since the low here, you're up about 100% in the span of 2 weeks. That is a huge move for bounce token. We're going to keep an eye on that here, man. Thank you for bringing that up to us. Yeah, bounce token, baby. Bounce token looking like it's going to go on a moonshot mission based off of this 200 MA break. The 21 starting to curve. You may get some consolidation, some sideways price action before moving up to further higher prices. I would look for a flag. You come up here, you get some kind of flag while the 21 is coming up. Whoop, you get some kind of flag while the 21 is coming up. And boom, to higher prices, baby. And you may be able to come up and test some of these areas, right? Sweep this liquidity right here, you know, at about 24. Yeah, 24, 26. Yeah, I would definitely look out in this region. This is an area of heavy contention here for this token. A lot of sell pressure up here in this $25 region, but that's still a 40% move, man, from where we are. 60% move from where we are. Good night. Eyeball math is not working out for me, but that's still a 60% move from where we are. We can see a massive move out of auction token based on the technicals here. I do like what I'm seeing. You're overbought, but you know, you got your stochastics curving back to the upside. The 3-day says, yeah, we still got room to go. The weekly, baby, the weekly says we're just getting started for bounce token. Let's look at this. Let's pull a fib here and let's see if we can get some confluence here with a 786 pulling from the bottom to the top. It got an 886 retrace. It is bouncing very nicely from that zone. Let's see what happens to bounce token here in the near future. Stochastics reset. It does look really, really good here in the near term. And if you even got up close to testing that all-time high, man, that's a 3x right there. That's a 3x. But I really do sincerely think that if Bitcoin continues to struggle, this may get up here, but you know, it may be some kind of shooting star pattern if Bitcoin does decide to start dumping off, right? If Bitcoin does decide to start dumping off. All right, let's dump back into the chat. Auction. We went over auction, the same as bounce coin. Yes, Wanda, well done. Can you please look at the coin called auction? Yep, we did. Could this be caused by more people entering the market and holding USDT? It definitely could. It definitely could. But from the fear and the sentiment that's in here right now and the charts, the way they're looking, when the charts are dumping and USDT is pumping, that only tells me that USDT, if the charts are sideways and USDT was pumping, that would tell me people are depositing on chain, right? Right now, with the charts pumping, let's look at the S&P 500 just very briefly. The S&P futures, I think, woo, not a crypto, right? ES1, yeah, futures. Oh my, ooh, stocks, baby, stocks. Don't look at stocks very much. Come on, baby. And then ES, stock futures. Come on, baby. Oh, I got to find the and symbol. Bear with me. S&P 500. All right, so the S&P 500 has had its second red candle open, right? Starting today was pretty nasty. All right, we've been here before. Everybody. Look, the S&P 500, these gaps are the CME gaps that I was talking about, right? Where you get filled. This is just last night on the stream. For the people who are speculating on that CME gap getting filled, it still has not been filled, right? But we had that drop down to fill the gap before we're pushing the higher prices. Now we're coming down to fill this gap right here in the S&P 500 chart. We did drop below 6,000. This was a substantial drop for the S&P 500 over the past couple of days of about 2.4% on average for your stocks. This is really important to look at. We have big earnings coming coming up, right, everybody? We have NVIDIA earnings coming up. We got Amazon, Google, some of the behemoths in the tech space coming up, and that is going to be pivotal, right? Considering DeepSeek did come out and shake that markets like crazy. Back here in December. This is going to be the Q4 earnings. It is going to be really, really important to look at these earnings to see if the S&P 500 is indeed overvalued or if there's more room to go for the upside. I will say this: if numbers come in bad, that is going to wreck the S&P. That is going to absolutely wreck the S&P. We could be facing some kind of double top here. It's on the table. It's on the table. I'm not saying that's surely going to happen, but look, we're getting closer to 4-hour 200, which has been a key point of support, ever since back here when Trump won the election, right? We're coming down. We tested. We're coming back down. Are we about to get another test of the 4-hour 200? It does seem likely. Look at this. Here we go. These are the big economic news, right? What do we got? GDP. Yeah, GDP 27th of February. That's in 2 days. These are big economic news. Durable goods year over year. Yeah, of course. This is a big personal income. Geez, we got a lot of big economic news coming this week. This may just be a sell-off just to prevent from when was the last time we had a news event and the price pump? That's all I'm saying. When was the last time we had a news event and the price absolutely skyrocketed? It's been rare lately, right? It's been rare because the Fed's been super hawkish. The last time, we did get that massive that pump and dump, but we start the news events with these massive dumps because people are so scared right now. Every time we get a news event, everybody's wondering, is this going to be the one that absolutely bends us over the barrel and shows us the 50 states? Shout out to Horrible Bosses. What a great movie, right? Is this going to be the news event that sends us down into oblivion? And now you got 4 or 5 of them coming in the next 2 days here, right? The 28th? Yeah, you got 27th and the 28th, giant economic news that is coming over the next couple of days, right? It is important that we look at that for the S&P because so far Bitcoin's been correlated to the S&P, right? If we look at Bitcoin, BTC, right, and we overlay it with the S&P, oh yeah, baby, woo! Okay, scaled, not looking good. The Bitcoin has outperformed that. Where is this on the weekly? Good night. Right? When the S&P has been going up, Bitcoin has been going up, right? When the S&P struggles, Bitcoin has struggled. When the S&P has been going up, Bitcoin's been going up. And right now you're seeing that double top. Bitcoin, yeah, you're seeing this double top here kind of forming on the weekly for the S&P. Look at that. We're getting, you got double top. You're struggling, right? You're not below the prior low on the S&P, but you're below the prior low on Bitcoin right there on the weekly time frame. It has been pretty correlated here, right? Look at this, right? You're going up, you're going up, you're going down, you're going down, you're going up, you're going up. It is crazy to see that Bitcoin has been sticking with the S&P for the past 2 years or so, right? It was meant to be a decoupling, but it's really not so far. And the markets are saying that, hey, when the S&P is going up, Bitcoin's going to go up. When the S&P is going down, Bitcoin's going to go down. Look at the day. Look at the day, right? Massive red day for Bitcoin, right? It's just been that way. We had a massive pump for Bitcoin, massive pump in the S&P. It's just been that way, right? If you ever want to overlay something, right, you could always hit the plus button here up on TradingView, right? And you can we can get rid of that. You can hit the plus button up here on TradingView and overlay any asset that you want to compare, right? And so it's kind of cool to do to see kind of different fractals and everything that play out. But the S&P has been incredibly correlated to Bitcoin recently. So it is imperative that these earnings come in at least meeting expectations, if not beating expectations. If we start falling below expectations and China starts getting a large amount of market share when it comes to money, like through their DeepSeek protocol, that would be really bad. That would be so bad for the markets in the near term. Even crypto, right? So we got to keep that on our radar. That's why Bitcoin's really got to dig in its heels here and get some support, right? Because if the S&P starts losing key 200s, Bitcoin's going to start losing key 200s, and that's where we currently stand. We are at the line in the sand, ladies and gentlemen, at the line in the stand. This is Bitcoin's finest hour. We need to hold here. We need to hold. Oh my gosh, Uvula going crazy. I know that thing's going like this when I'm on my rants, man. I know it. All right, jumping in. Could that be caused? Oh, where was my spot? All right, can you explain to me the asset? So, exchange it for fiat. Can you explain to me the asset to Bitcoin pairs, Sol BTC, etc.? Yes, absolutely. It is essentially the same thing as overlaying, right? So Sol BTC, what do you got to get money out of your head with this, right? That is the key when it comes to money out of the head. You are looking at, right, on Sol BTC, which is getting absolutely annihilated, right? Speculating on a flag, broke to the downside. It is what it is. I don't remember when I drew this. This was a long time ago I drew this. Oh, this may have been, 4 or 5 months ago I drew this. Crazy, right? When Solana was looking really good, we did break to the downside. We're below the weekly for Sol BTC, and you can do this for anything. You can do this for Sol Ethereum, Ethereum, Bitcoin. This compares one asset to another. How many Bitcoin does it take to buy a Solana? 0.0015276. That's what it currently says. Whenever these prices consolidate, right? Right? It is saying that, hey, Sol's about to beat this flag. We're speculating on Sol beating up on Bitcoin over the course of the bull run. We got to wick back up into the pattern and got rejected, right? This was and this market's been so crazy ever since the meme coin pump and dumps, everybody. That's what's been really screwing with the markets and the charts. News events really mess with the charts, man. Right? So right here, right? Let's look at Sol BTC. Right here, this movement right here does not represent price. It represents Solana beating up on Bitcoin. So it takes 463%, right? Tracking with me, 4.6 times more Bitcoin to purchase a Solana, right? So if Bitcoin goes up 100%, Solana went up 4 times that, right? So it's comparing assets compared to one another and showing you whether something is bullish in the near term or the short term. When you break above the 200 MA, not really applicable here, but say we broke over the 200 MA here, I would rather have my money in Solana than Bitcoin, because this chart is telling me, right? Not currently, but this chart would have been telling me at that time, hey, Solana's about to beat up on Bitcoin. So it doesn't matter if Bitcoin goes up or down. Solana's going to go down less than Bitcoin when Bitcoin goes down, and Solana's going to go up more than Bitcoin when Bitcoin goes up. That's what these charts are representative, right? One that's kind of a little more extrapolated is XRP, right? XRP Bitcoin, right? Looking in, this is showing us how strong XRP is compared to Bitcoin, right? Compared to bitty Bitcoin, right? XRP, right, going all the way back to 2014, has had these massive wicks. This is just showing percentage gains in XRP compared to Bitcoin, right? You had a 3,000% run there in the course of 3 months. That was crazy back in 2017, right? We broke above the weekly 200 MA. Bull, baby, bull, bull, baby, bull. We kind of started forming a flag there, broke out to the upside, back inside the pattern, broke to the upside. It's kind of broken now, so I would speculate on something else here. I would kind of speculate on something a little bigger here. While the 21 comes into price action, you could say that this is resistance. You could say that this is an upward sloping support line, but you're kind of breaking that. This is a hard thing to chart, especially when after XRP's been on such a massive rampage, right? And I'm not an XRP like fanatic or anything. It's just a chart that's really easy to see these kind of movements, right? Here, Bitcoin was, going up, but XRP went up 271% compared to Bitcoin. So you would have made a lot more money had your money been in XRP comparatively to Bitcoin. And you close that candle, it would have been fine to hold XRP compared to Bitcoin, because you're moving up in this XRP to Bitcoin chart, right? You have stochastics, you have everything, right? That is screaming, hey, like XRP is going to be going up. Now, what am I looking at, right? I'm seeing bearish div, right? Form on the XRP Bitcoin pair. This is saying that this low, this did say that this low was going to get broken before this high. And look at that. It did. So this bearish div has been negated, right? And we're looking for new hints on the RSI on the weekly time frame. We zoom in on the daily, right? It kind of looks very similar to the XRP chart, but when, because when Bitcoin's been pumping, XRP's been pumping. When Bitcoin's been falling, XRP's been dumping, right? So it looks very, very similar. But this is saying how much Bitcoin, right? And you got to go into the decimals, is going to be needed to purchase a singular XRP, right? How many Bitcoin are needed to, purchase a singular XRP? And if this moonshots, that means that XRP is going to start beating up on Bitcoin by 100%, right? So if Bitcoin, that could mean this either rise or fall. Bitcoin falls 10% down to 80K. XRP only falls 5%. This will pump. This will pump, right? It is the same thing. They're inversely correlated, right? So anytime it's just showing strength compared to another asset. That's what Sol BTC is. XRP, Bitcoin, ETH, Mantra DAO, slash anything. You're just comparing it to something other than the US dollar, right? Like when the US dollar pumps, right? Like we're seeing with USDT dominance, when that's pumping, Bitcoin's dumping. Why? Because people are selling Bitcoin and holding USDT on the exchanges. That's why USDT has been pumping, right? I wonder if you can do that. Let's see, USDT BTC. Oh yeah, that's just a, woo! What in the world? Trying to spell out everything. Good night. Bitcoin. Yeah, on USDT. I wonder if you can get that actual Nah, it just pulls up the standard chart, right? Yeah. You're just going to be looking at what in the world is going on with TradingView today, right? But you're just going to be looking at the standard chart, right? Whenever it comes to USDT dominance, right? In the crypto space. Yeah, okay. That's what I just looked at. The USDT dominance was the crypto chart, right? The chart that represents money as a whole, right? In the crypto space. So people are holding more money more money as in USDT, which is a stable coin pinned to the US dollar, right? Compared to crypto, right? That's why it's on a moonshot when Bitcoin has been struggling over the past day. All right, let's dive into the chat. Do you think Sol will bounce from here? I wouldn't touch Sol with a 10-foot pole. I really wouldn't, right? There's been so much negativity on Sol, and maybe that's the key. Hey, that's the time to get in. There's a lot of negativity. Think about the trust in the chain. That's where I'm coming from for Solana. I don't trust Solana right now because Solana's supposed to regulate, right, what it puts out on its chain. Tell me Trump coin was regulated, right? It wasn't, right? Ever since Gary has been gone, Gary left, and Solana's been annihilated, right? Because the trust in the chain has just been gone. Gary left and Trump coin got released like the very next day. Oh, there's nobody stopping me from doing a pump and dump? Launch it, baby. Launch them, right? That's what the air boss used to say on my boat. Whenever the planes would fly off to drop missiles and stuff, launch them, right? Yeah, ridiculous, right? But that's what we're looking at for Solana right now. That pump and that pump and dump mentality that a lot of people have, right? When it comes to the space, they fear Solana because of Libra, because of Melania, because of Trump, because of Dex Screener on Solana. Let's look at Dex Screener on Sol. Look at this. These aren't stable. 16,000% in 24 hours, minus 36%, minus 43%. People are getting away from this. And then you scroll down and you start seeing the bigger losers, minus 81%, rugged, right? Minus 20%. These are big moves in the course of 24 hours for some of these assets. And these are the top ones, right? These are the top ones. Let's sort by losers, baby. Let's sort by losers. Can you even sort by losers? That's probably something you can't do, right? Let's see. Flip it upside down. Yeah, you can't. You can't sort by losers hardly, right? So you're looking at an asset that is supporting this meme coin pump and dump cycle, and that's absolutely horrible for the space, right? And that's why Solana's been getting absolutely bent over the barrel and shown the 50 states here, right? Horrible bosses. That's why Solana's in the position that it's in, because it's losing trust in the market. It's inflationary, right? You can make more. You have an infinite supply here on Solana. There's no limit to the amount of Solana there can be, right? There's token unlocks, right? There's a lot of investors that hold shares that are getting unlocks and are selling into the strength of Solana in the bull market. They don't care about Solana. They just got in super early when it was down in the dollar region, right? In the $8 to $10 region. When Solana was down there, they got in. They don't care if it's at 141 or 200. They're trying to take their profits. Why wouldn't you when Bitcoin's showing weakness? Oh, I don't want to lose all my gains on Solana. If I was looking at this, I'm not long in this, baby. We are below the 200 daily moving average. We want to see that hold in order for me to maintain my bull thesis. We are coming down the key support, but until we get above this 200, I can't say we are going to higher prices. In my mind, I can't take a long on Solana, right? Man, I just wetted my screen. I've been spinning everywhere. You guys got me on my rant about meme coins. This is what happens. Man, puberty. Gotta get that dry UV look going. Oh. How you guys like the cut? Is the cut fresh? My lady did it. It looks really nice. I think it's even. It's pretty even, right? But Solana, right, has been taking an absolute beatdown. And if you could look on Twitter, type in Sol, and everybody's talking absolute mad, insert whatever word you want in there, mad trash, right? About the Solana chain because they can't regulate this, especially since Libra got annihilated and rugged by the president of Argentina. He could say, no, I didn't do it or anything, but his wallet address was literally the one that dumped the millions, right? And Kanye, right? Like Kanye wants to launch his meme coin, Yeezy coin, baby. Everybody knows Kanye. It's going to pump, and it will right at the beginning. But until people realize that Kanye West owns 70% of the coin, does that sound like a good idea to you? If Satoshi Nakamoto owns 70% of Bitcoin, would we be diving into it today? Probably not. Probably I wouldn't, right? It's just, please do your own due diligence before you get into these meme coins. And if you're going to get in and get your initial investment out as soon as it shows itself. Like as soon as you double up, pull out your initial investment and hold. Again, I'm not a financial advisor, but be careful of things like that, right? And Solana is showing weakness because of the fear in the meme coin market right now. Wow, look at any meme coin, pull it up, right? We could go through the top 100 meme coins, and these are the best performers. These are the best performers. Let's look at Pepe. Pepe got absolutely, what, this month? This month down 47%. One of the leading altcoins, Dogecoin, getting absolutely wrecked. Doge, baby, the number 8. Right, down 40% this month. These meme coins have taken an absolute bat to the gonads, right, over the past month comparatively to everything else, right? You do have things that are down massively, like 40%, ADA down, Cardano down 30, but 30% compared to 50% is a big deal when it comes to the crypto space, right? You have stronger coins like XRP down 26%. This whole market's been taking a beat down, but the memes are going to take the brunt of the force. The memes are going to take the absolute brunt of the force because they have no utility and no reason for them to increase besides just hype and speculation. When was the last time you guys seen a chill guy meme? I'm not going to go into this. When was the last time? My investment's down 98%, but I'm just a chill guy. You know, with that tilting music in the background. Oh, that used to get me, man. I would see that on Twitter. I'm just a chill guy, right? Yeah, I'd be a chill guy too if I got in when I was at 63 cents, and now my assets trading at 2 cents. I'm just a chill guy. Baby. I'm not worried about it because I'm just a chill guy. I fell below the 4 hour 200. I've never been above the 4 hour 200 MA. I'm just a chill guy. Yeah, I'm just a chill guy. It drives me nuts. The meme coin sector. You guys always found a way to get me diving into the meme coins. Oh my gosh, right? Let's dive in. Chat. Sol BTC, we went over that. That's kind of what it's looking like. Do I think Sol will bounce from here? Absolutely not. I don't think so. Not comparatively, right? When people see this amount of doubt, right? And sure, there may be people that are taking speculative longs. You may get a bounce, but you got to be careful. Until you get above this 185 region, I'm Bear City, baby. Bear City for Sol. We got to acknowledge that we're coming down to a key support level. If you're speculating on a long, I wouldn't get in now. I would wait for that 125 region to get hit. Maybe sweeping some of this liquidity. That might be the 110, 120 region. Maybe a great area to look for a long, but I'm not touching this thing with a 10-foot pole, baby, until we get back above that daily 200. I just like the warm and cozies of being above the daily 200. We get above the daily 200, bull market, baby. Look at that. Solana went on an 893% run. You get below it, right? And you can go on some serious nukage, right? You get below it and, you had a 26% down draw. You could argue, oh, like we were at a kind of a similar point there. Yeah, absolutely. But this could have easily capitulated further to take out this wick. We have a lot of people that are long down in here on the Solana, baby. I would not be surprised to see those wicks taken out. Again, I'm not Bear City, but I'm bear on Sol. Let that be known. Boys Crypto is bear on Solana until we get back above that 185 region and close a daily candle, right? All right, let's dive in, chat. What the WTF, right? I don't know what that stands for. LOL. You can chart eggs. Baby. You can chart eggs. You hardly can't now because it's at an all-time high. Blue Skies breakout, baby, on eggs. Get yourself some grade A large eggs today, right? Just freeze them. I don't know what people do. Thank you. Thanks, boys. Wanda, April. Thank you guys for being here. When Jerome Powell farts, we dump. Whenever I see Jerome Powell's face, Jerome Powell is the single-handed most expensive voice in the world. Comes out there, good morning. And you see that nukage. It is absolutely crazy. I wonder how many shorts Jerome Powell has opened up in his life. Before he goes up on stage, he's probably calling his wife, honey, you got a 50x our life savings on this. I'm about to say good morning to everybody. And when that happens, we get annihilated. Yeah, I could see it. Jerome Powell telling me there's no insider trading going on. Get out of here. No way. Jerome. When was the last time we saw a Jerome pump? Jerome saved us last time, baby. Jerome came out and did the unexpected. I almost got a t-shirt that said Jerome on it, right? But we see him again in March, right? Talking about inflation. If they remain hawkish, right? If they remain, no, we're not printing any more money, we could expect some trouble here in the near term. The stock market's been propped up on that since the massive COVID printing of 2021, where everybody got those big stimulus checks, that money's resting somewhere, getting injected somewhere, right? It's so important to understand where that money ended up laying. I was in the Navy. I put all my money in the market, right? I think $3,500 in stimulus checks. Was it 3? Did we get 2? $2,500 to $3,000. I think it was $3,000 because we had 2 that were $1,200 and one that was $600. I put it all in the market, and so did my friends, and so did my friends' friends, and our entire, almost our entire boat, which was, several thousand people. And that's just a little part of the Navy, just a Navy, right? The military didn't need that money. Right? The military didn't. Maybe some people did for like childcare and stuff. I don't know. But the military didn't need that, but we all got it anyway. And I can guarantee it's the same for some of you out there. Some of them were like, no, I needed that check, Boys Crypto. I needed it. And that's what it was for. But it was for the people who needed it, not for the people who could live without it. Everybody got them. Everybody got these checks. That was mindless money printing by the government, and that's what's been propping up our stock market. Like, that money rests somewhere, right? So are these companies really valued at that much dollar? No, the dollar is just that much weaker, right? Comparatively to before we started printing out the booty hole. All right, so let's dive in. Yep, you can chart eggs. Thanks. When Jerome Powell farts, we dump. I agree. So I agree. Nah, dump. Shorting that. Hey, PMG Corey, I don't blame you, man. Look, baby. You got, if you're looking at a short, I went short after that big red candle. I'd wait for some kind of retracement, right? But if you're looking at a 2-to-1 short, yeah, you're come back down. Where would be a 786, right? From a retracement from the lows to the highs, right? You'd have a 786 down here at about $73, a macro 786, and you could pull it from a couple different areas, right? Like, you could argue that it's here. Are we coming up to the 786? Are we in the golden pocket right now? You could argue that, but I'm not touching this with the 10-foot pole until we get back above the daily 200. I'm also not going to short it after that massive red candle, right? I would wait for some kind of retracement into the day. If we got it, right, we are kind of, we're kind of trending sideways. We break above that 200, which we did on the 1 minute for Solana, right? That, I would wait for a break below the 200 for a, for any shorts here in the near term, right? If you're looking for a high leverage scalp, right? But if we get a pump here, that may be the area that you want to look for a short. Back up into this area, a retrace to a 21 on the higher time frame, baby. We don't get that far from the 21. We're pretty far from it on the 4-hour right now. The 21 comes down for support, right? Looking for that bearish retest. You get 21 to support right there. You take a short around 155 and you ride this puppy to the downside. Much better risk reward than you would get just blindly opening up a short right now when you're completely oversold on the RSI here, right? Curving to the upside, right? So it's something that you kind of want to consider whenever you're thinking about opening up a short on Solana. Also, if the market does turn around, people are going to be like, what's down the most? And they're going to see Solana and be like, Bitcoin's turning around. We could get some quick gains on Sol, right? And that does happen. Radium had some massive pumps on the 1 minute time frame just because it got absolutely annihilated over the past couple days, right? Going to radium, baby, radium. Oh, that looks horrible. Right? That's what my lady does when she sees something gross. Right? Like she's about to throw up, but oh man, that made my stomach cramp. Maybe I'll start doing that for my ab workouts, right? All right. So look on the 1 minute time frame. If we go back into this massive dump, right? You see some big red candles, right? And people were chasing shorts down here. This is what happens whenever you have capitulation. You're gonna get bounces, right? But if you shorted at any time, right? These candles could get big. 3.7%. Anything 25x, you would have been done. 3 minutes, 6%. Anything greater than 20%, 20x, you would have been done, right? These big candles right here, right? These retracements can get really nasty when it comes to assets that have been absolutely nuked on, right? Like, and when you turn around, you break over the 1 minute, you could get some pretty big pumps coming out of assets that have been beaten down, right? 6.4% right there. So on higher leverage, right? Like, you can speculate, but I would be definitely watching this 1 minute 200 SMA, kind of Flaggerunian here, Are we gonna get a little recovery on radium, right? Are we gonna get a little recovery on radium, baby? You know what? This flag looks really nice to me. Are we going to go in on a leverage trade on radium right here? Let's do a little high leverage fun, baby. Let's see what we could do. Let's see if we can make a little bit of recovery on this account that's been struggling. Not struggling, but back to almost where we began on this 5K to $10,000 challenge. We will get there, everyone. We will get there. So I'm going to set an alert here. I'm going to set an alert to Rooney, right, on radium at about that 294.57 level. Right, I'm gonna set an alert, and if we get above there, right, we start cracking that resistance on the high, I will look to take a long on radium. Let's get over here and go to Radium. Make sure that we are ready to go. You know, we're like a cobra in the grass. Shout out to Crypto Kirby, right? We are like a cobra in the grass, ready to strike. We are ready to strike. If we are unprepared, we will not be ready to strike, right? That hunter that is walking by us unsuspectingly while we're in the grass looking for a meal. We are the anaconda. We are the cobra. And he steps there with his boot. If we're sleeping, we're not going to get him, right? But if we're awake and waiting for him to slip up, right? Waiting for Boys Crypto to go to sleep so we could rug the market, right? Like they did today. We'll be ready to strike, right? So we're going to keep that on our radar. And again, if we don't break above the 200, we don't close a full body candle, baby, we are not trading that. No, we are not trading that, right? So we'll keep that on our radar here going into the future. We're getting that rejection off the 1 minute 200. Not something I like, right? But these pumps can get pretty massive, right? Over the 1 minute 200. That's a 2% pump. That would be massive. We're going to set our leverage here. We're going to go whatever we high leverage trade. Let's see if we could only offer 20x on here. Yeah, we'll go 20x, baby. 20x! All right, 20x on Radium. And we'll set that, and we will sit here like a cobra in the grass, right? We'll set up our long trade. Whenever you set up a long trade, it is very helpful to use this tool to make sure you are getting a good risk-reward ratio, right? So you can speculate on this flag. I'm not touching anything that's under the 1 minute 200. Miss me with that, right? We'll put a stop below the prior low, wherever that flag is. If we get the 2-to-1, if we don't get the 2-to-1, it is what it is, right? And we will let that cook right there. We will let that cook, sitting at 294, 2.94, 53. Boop. Our stop loss would be around 2.91, and our target would be 303, right? And I'm gonna wait for us to break that 1 minute 200. We got the alert set. Let's keep diving in. Let's keep diving in. All right, what else we got in the chat? Thanks, boys. Yep, Jerome Powell fart. We dump. Yep, Jerome Powell opens up his mouth. You see his tongue. You see his uvula. Probably less dry than Boys Crypto's uvula. But if you see his uvula, we're done. We're done, son. Right? Nah, dump. The cut is fresh. I appreciate that, April. Look at this lineup, man. It's nice. It's nice. It's looking good. It's not on my forehead when I'm jump roping, right? For my workouts, my love handles, and the man boobs are flying around everywhere. Hitting me, instead of having just my man boobs hitting me in the forehead, I also had my hair hitting me in the forehead, right? So now I just have my man boobs hitting me in the forehead, and I have one less thing to worry about that. I have one less thing to worry about there. So I'm very, very grateful for that haircut. Shout out to the hairdresser, the lovely hairdresser. Thank you, April, for giving me this massive, this nice cut. I think I lost about 1 pound on that. That was a lot of hair. That was a lot of hair. The lice outbreak was crazy. Kidding, no lice. At least I don't think so. They weren't moving if they were lice. It may have just been a little dandy. You know what I mean? All right, so let's see. The cut is fresh. We need a Discord. So you know what? You said that for 2 days, and I appreciate you, man. I like the idea of having a Discord. It's going to be way easier than posting stuff on X. Give me a couple days. I'm going to see what I could do happen, right? Let's see. Yeah, we'll look at getting a Discord set up. I like the idea of having a Discord, starting our own community. We're gonna do something special for you guys. The first couple followers here on the live stream, we will do something special for you, and that will definitely be done in the Discord in front of everybody. We will definitely. I think we're gonna do a giveaway, everybody, at our 100 subscriber count. A 100 subscriber count, right? So shout out to let your friends know, let everybody know we're close, baby. We're close. We're close. Look at us building, right? As the Boys Crypto family, let's pull this up here. How many subbies do we have today, right? Usually not a big, social media dude, but this is fun. Looking at your subscribers tick up, getting this little bit of following. Thank you guys for following us. We are at 85 subscribers right now. You guys are a legend. I love these thumbnails. I love making these for you guys. If you guys have any suggestions on thumbnails, let me know. Like if you want to see something in there, even if it's not Bull Bear, let me know. I will do that for you guys. Drop what you'd like to see in a thumbnail, right? And I will tag your name in the comments. Shout out to the thumbnail creation. We are at 85, right? So we'll do a giveaway. 15 more subscribers to the giveaway. What should we give away? I think we'll give away, let's see. Let's shut our eyes here. Let's shut our eyes here. Man, we may be getting a little bit. Let's see what we land on. Let's see what we land on. What we land on? What we land on? I can't even see the mouse. What we land on? We landed on Solana, baby. We landed on Solana, right? We'll be giving away some Solana at our 100 subscriber count. I'm excited to do that. Shout out to you guys. If you want to participate in this Solana giveaway, we will do a challenge. I haven't thought about it yet, but we hit that 100 subscriber count. We'll do it here on the live, and we will do a Solana giveaway challenge. I'm excited to do that with you guys. That'll be a lot of fun. Shout out to everybody. I'm excited to give away some Solana. Hopefully it recovers a little bit. You know what I mean? Be worth a little more. We'll do a little bit of a Solana giveaway for the winner of that competition coming very soon. As soon as we get to that 100 subscriber mark, I'm excited. It'll be for everybody who has subscribed and is currently watching the live at that time. Pretty good odds, right? We only got 10 people here. Hey, we are building, everybody. We are building double digits, baby. We're coming. We're coming. All right, let's dive in. Hey, start of something big here. So thank you for saying that, man. Start of something big. I'm going to be here every night for you guys. I'm not taking any days off, right? I'm not taking any days off. I already discussed this with my lady. We are not taking any days off. We are going to be here every single day, and we're going to get the streak of all streaks going. We will stream every single day, going and combing over these markets every single night, testing my voice, testing my uvula, testing our perseverance. I'm excited to see you all here every night. This is going to be our new game. We're going to build together, everybody. This house, we will build one brick at a time, right? And let's dive into the chat. Thank you for that. So that hyped me up, man. That hypes me up. That's like when you get done with a big set on bench and you hit it, right? And you hit your max and you're feeling really good. You're on top of the world. You get up, right? And you're doing chest bumps with everybody in the gym that wasn't even watching when you did it. You're just giving it to them for no reason, right? And then people start looking at you like you're strange, and then they call the cops. Like it's one of those moments, right? It's one of those moments that really gets you hyped. Thank you. Thank you. All right, diving in. We need a Discord. I got you, man. I got you. We need to send some super chats, man. Hey, you don't get monetized until you got 300 subscribers, but I will get there. I promise you, we will get there. Super chats are coming, everybody. Super chats are coming. Start of something big. Shout out to Sin Nasty Kid. PMG fam, thank you for being here, man. Thank you for being here. I'd like to get up to where PMG is one day and further. We are going to come up. We're going to be that. Hey, look, this can be the start of the next Alex Becker. Who knows? Who knows, everybody? Do you guys know anybody else that brings this much energy into this crypto space? No, we're going to bring that energy and we're going to keep going. I hear a lot of streamers, this is the charts. This is what we're seeing, everybody. This is what, and even on Twitter, like, what if I came up here and I just talked like this? Bitcoin's looking at, we're sitting at a market cap of 1.8 trillion. No, that's not what anybody wants to hear. You want to be hyped up, man. This is a space that could change your life. Let's get in it. What other coins do you guys want to see in the chat? Litecoin, baby. Litecoin. Hey, shout out to So. Thank you, man. Let's go in and look at Litecoin. A coin showing some massive, let's see, Radium real quick. Yeah, we've fallen out of the bottom of that flag. There's no trade for us there right now, right? We got our alert set. Radium, baby. Woo! Litecoin, right? Gotten a little bit of ADD right there. Fresh uvula hydration. We're ready. Litecoin, one of the strongest coins in the game, right? One of the strongest coins in the game as of late. I saw it pumping up near, it was like $130. This thing has been on a massive tear. Why? Right? Why? Well, Litecoin is a fork of Bitcoin, and people are speculating that the next ETF that's going to get approved is the Litecoin ETF, right? People are speculating on that ETF getting approved and massively rocketing the price to the upside. Because what can those big companies do when they don't have any Litecoin, right? They could only buy. They can't sell if they don't have any. They can only buy, right? So Litecoin, looking to trade in this range right here, was pumping pretty massively. After that capitulation wick on the 7th, or on the 2nd, right? You add a 50%, almost 100% move to, I'd say 76% move to the upside. And now we're kind of range bound, right? We're sitting in between this range. We have two interesting points of control right here. You have one sitting at 127 and you have one sitting at 103. You're bouncing in between. You have the moving averages here being supported by the 100 right now. As we speak, you're well above the 200 on the daily, something that a lot of the major altcoins cannot say, right? Let's zoom in, look at the 1 hour. It's kind of same, different coins, same story, right? When it comes to 1 hour, it's really taking track with what Bitcoin's doing. We had that massive dump, right? And we're kind of showing signs of rollover here. I do like this bullish div that's forming on the 1 hour. We're starting to form div everybody, on time frames that are a little larger than a 15. That's a good sign, right? We have our swing up in price action as RSI is starting to bend, and we have our swing down here in price, right? And it is slight. It's over the course of a couple hours, but that is some bull div if I've ever seen it, right? What happens if this bull div kicks in? We're going to break this high. It is likely we can't break that high before we break this low. Currently sitting at the midpoint, right underneath the high volume node mark of this small range that we've been making, right? Let's zoom out and get some VRVP data, baby. VRVP. Right? Yeah, you're below the major high volume node up here at about a 127, right? And you're currently, sitting in limbo. Let's zoom out to the 4 hour. Ugh, getting tongue tied right there. Tongue uvula intertwining. Ooh, let's get this out of here. Yeah, so you're currently sitting below the high volume node, currently sitting at 121. And another one, a bigger one up at 127. So a lot of Litecoin changed hands up here. Not so much in here, right? Coincides with that pump that we had on the 9th, right? We haven't really came back down to test that low a little bit here, right? But really not a lot of Litecoins exchanged hands in between here. So I think we're likely to come back down to that 102 level. If Bitcoin struggles, man, everything's coming down. Litecoin's going to come down and test this high volume node. It's the same story, different coin, right? Litecoin needs to get some footing here, right? We're falling below the 4 hour 200. What's next? We're going to come to test a 6. Right now, we're right below the 6. What happens when we break the 6? We're going to go to the 8, baby. We're going to go to the 8. We're sitting right on the 8 hour 200 SMA. These things are like dominoes, man. You knock one over, you're coming to the next. And now you're sitting on the 8 hour. What if we lose the 8 hour? Well, we're going to come to the 12 hour 200 SMA. We're also sitting on the 12 hour. These are getting very, very tight for Litecoin just because we've been in this range for such a long time. Look what happens when the moving averages get very, very tight. You usually get a monumental move afterwards. Moving average is tight. Boom. Moving average is tight. Boom. Moving average is tight. Boom. We got it right here. Moving average is insanely tight, right? We had that flush to the upside. Moving averages are starting to get tight, right? Not currently, right? It'll take a couple days to fill out, right? These are 12-hour candles. But the moving averages, when the 21 starts coming down here, the 100 starts bending. If we're trading in this range for a little bit, you're looking at very, very, very tight moving averages over the course of the 12-hour time period. That in the history has led to massive pricing explosions in the past, right? And you're looking at a large time frame, right? Moving averages got so tight down here. Look at this. Look how tight the moving averages got. You had them interlacing right here, and you had massive. You are sitting on a high volume node. A lot of traders taking action in here, essentially hedging and betting on Litecoin going one way or the other. The longs won out, right? And those moving averages start to fan out, and you never look back, right? You had a little capitulation right there, but you never look back. Litecoin on a rampage, right? Speculating on that ETF approval, 122% going back here on November the 7th, right? Starting that massive run to the upside along with a lot of the other alts, right? But now we're getting that tightening, right? We want to see that tighten. You're starting to get that tightening on the 4, right? If this comes up into here and we start trading beneath this high volume node, you can speculate again on another. Look at this. The moving average is very, very tight. Led to a massive explosion to the upside for Litecoin, right? So it's important that Bitcoin digs its heels in here, everybody. I'm telling you, if Bitcoin nukes, you're going to see some blood. You're going to see some blood. This day, right? This day, week, month, 5 minute, 15 minute, everything's going to be red. It's going to be disgusting. And I do not want to see that for the altcoins, especially if dominance decides to just keep absolutely ripping faces, right? Let's dive in. LRC, my worst position. Let's type in LRC, man. I haven't heard of that one. LRC. Loopring. I haven't heard of this project. Oh my goodness gracious. So what I am looking at here, right? You did have a substantial push to the upside. You're saving grace for Loopring, right? On these smaller time frames. This is 786. You're in the golden pocket right now, man. You need a bounce off of that 786 at 11 cents, 284. You need a bounce in that range. You're below the high volume node of this range. You really want to see some action here for Loopring to get back to the upside. You're below the high volume node. The stochastics are curving. You're kind of curving on the 4 hour right there. You're oversold on the 4 hour. It does look like there's a little bit of sign of relief here from Loopring, especially with that wick. It's your saving grace, man. This is the golden pocket zone. If this wasn't here, you'd be looking at. If that wick wasn't there, you'd just be sitting on the the 618, and you could also pull it like that, right, from candle to candle. Even though we're pulling from the wick there, but I like going wick to wick, right? We like going from wick to wick. Right? All right, so So we're looking at the golden pocket retrace for loop ring right here. Let's see if it can hold. Let's see if it can hold, baby. Bitcoin needs to hold its footing. Let's zoom back here, man. This thing's been beat down, hasn't it? It's been beat down. Look at this carnage, man. A lot of these altcoins are sitting at your bear. This was the bear market. This was when Bitcoin started capitulating, right? You're below your bear market lows. You know, you're below. Look at this. You were higher in 2022 than you are now. Let's look at the weekly. And it sucks for some of these altcoins. You're down here at your lows. How much lower can you go? Loopring was at $3.82, currently trading at almost 10 cents. How much lower can you go? You're off 90%, 97% of your all-time high. How much lower can these altcoins go? How much more punishment can they take? Or is this the greatest opportunity we've had, the last chance to get in before a monumental move to the upside, right? It's hard to say. How are we here when Bitcoin's almost at 100K for some of these altcoins? How? I don't understand that. I don't understand that. How? It doesn't make sense. I mean, it makes sense with the charts with Bitcoin dominance ripping, but man, some of these more speculative projects, you got to wonder, is the team abandoning them? Like, is there just no news coming out? Is there no progress, development, right? You could have speculated on the cup and handle here, but that didn't work out, man. That didn't work out on the daily. It didn't. You got down, you're sitting below the 886. You did a 100% retrace. You're betting on a double bottom on that wick right there, and that's a long shot, man. That's a long shot from what you're looking at. Drop your coins in the chat, everybody. Whatever you guys want to go through, we'll go through them. We'll go through them. A lot of them are going to look like this, and it's not pretty, everybody. I'm not gonna powder sugar it. If you guys see me wrong, look, we were speculating long yesterday. We were speculating long, and we got washed on our trades. All the trades we put out on Twitter, washed, right? But I'm not gonna hide behind that, right? I'm gonna say, hey, we were wrong. We were wrong. I was wrong. We're looking at it. We were looking at it the wrong way. A lot of that did come with the news of the Bybit hack, but hey, nothing in trading is 100%, right? That's why you need to have a good risk management strategy whenever you're taking trades. It's so critical, so important. If you would have put your whole life savings on any of the trades we did in the last 24 hours, you'd got washed. You'd have nothing left. That's ridiculous, right? But, if you took 1% of your portfolio, okay, you have 99% of your portfolio left, 98% of your portfolio left, right? And now we could speculate on moves going forward. We win the next trade and you're up overall in your portfolio, right? That's the beauty of trading at 2-to-1 with risk reward ratios. It's super important for you to understand good risk management, right? And to take a long here is so gutsy, right? You do not want to put in more than you can afford to lose, right? Whenever Bitcoin's struggling so bad here on the lower time frames, on the daily, on the macro time frames. This is bad. This is bad. Bad. This is horrible. Like, it's carnage. Oh my gosh. This feels like we could fall pretty quickly. I'm looking for a capitulation wick. I'm looking for something like this in the altcoins. I'm looking for a big, a V-shaped recovery. I'm not looking for a substantial. I'm not saying, oh, this is the bear market. This is where we start. I'm saying that it's likely that we have a mass capitulation event. A strategy that you can adopt. You could put in limit orders, everybody. Okay, if we drop, I want to pick some up around 85K, around 80K. Buy $100 of Bitcoin here. Buy $100 of Bitcoin here. Buy $100 of Bitcoin here and here. You know what's cool? If we fall all the way down there, you're averaging down on your price if you got in at these higher price levels, right? There's nothing wrong with that, right? And you're picking up some cheaper Bitcoin. We come back even to where we are right now, and every one of these limit orders will be in the money for you. That's the beauty of averaging down and limiting in. You could set orders to catch these wicks. People, look at this. Let's pull up XRP. I'll just pull up XRP because it had one of the most drastic price movements when it comes to, because there was so much hype behind it when we had that capitulation candle. This candle was 50%, right? Or this is day essentially, right? But we're looking at a 4-hour time frame. So let's look at the 12-hour or the day. So anybody who was in this here and was speculating on a liquidation event, and you had longs open down in this region, right? Anywhere here, you had long orders in and they were filled. In the span of a single day, those long orders were up about 60%. 60% in a day, right? and people were like, oh my gosh, crypto absolutely nuked. Well, you can look at it from a different perspective. I picked up some XRP at $1.70, $1.71. You know, I picked up some Bitcoin at 90K. Like, yeah, we dumped, but I got a good deal. You know what I mean? It's like a flash sale, right? And you could view it like that, and you could set some limit orders down here just in case you do nuke to those levels. It's not all doom and gloom, everybody. You can see it as opportunity to get in at better prices, right? Definitely is on the table. All right, let's dive in. PMG Corey, who's making money on shorts today? It's not me, man. It's not me. I am not in a short. I am not touching I'm not touching leverage right now. I am sitting on my hands, right, for the time being. I will keep you updated on Twitter. Follow me on X at boyscrypto102. Soon to be the Discord, everybody. We're gonna start a Discord, and you know what? You know, I never thought about like monetization, really. I really haven't. I really do want to share this with the community. But if we do get enough people in Discord, it will eventually be paid. But for you guys, for the people who are here with me this early, I'm not going to make you pay a dime for the price, for as long as the Discord exists, for as long as this channel exists, and it's going to be for a long time, everybody. We're going to be here with you every single day. We've been here every single day since the channel started. Every night we've done a stream. You know, we haven't been that old. We're about 2 weeks old now, but we've been here every single night, right? You guys are not going to have to pay a single dime. You know, like when you guys get in, I remember all these names in the chat, right? I'm going to have you guys send me an email, right? And even like if I have some kind of dementia and I need a screenshot, I'll look back at the live chats during these streams. I'm going to remember each and every single one of you. And the first like 20 people, 25 people that have been in this stream, you will not pay a single dime for the Discord if that ever does get to a monetization point. Not saying that I am. I'm not searching like for money for a quick buck. I'm here to just share my experience with you guys. But like whenever it comes to that, I'm not going to have you guys pay anything. You guys are some of my earliest supporters, and I cannot say how much I appreciate you guys being here with me and supporting me through this journey. You guys are awesome. You guys are really, really awesome, and I will not forget about you guys. I remember all these names in the chat. Sin Nasty Kid. So I remember you, PMG Corey, April, Wanda. You know, all these guys in the chat, right? PMG Chris when he was dropping in. I remember these names. Michaela. I'm not gonna forget you guys. You guys are gonna be here. You guys are gonna be here with me, right? For the whole ride. Shorts, man. Shorts. You know, for a head short, like going long, like if you're saying, hey, this could happen, you know, you could look at putting a stop above the high volume node. But the high volume node, and you go 2-to-1 down to almost 2-to-1, a 1.6-to-1 down to the daily 200 MA. I'm staying away from shorts right now, man. Just with how this chop has been, they've been absolutely doing some crazy stuff with liquidation wicks. So that's just kind of where I stand when it comes to taking shorts right now. I'm gonna wait for divergence to form and think about taking a long here in the near term, right? Whenever we have to get above some of these key moving averages, right? I want to see this fanning stop. I want to see us get over the 1 minute. The 1 minute 200 SMA and hold for Bitcoin, right? Form some kind of flag up here. It didn't work out there. Form some kind of flag before speculating higher prices. But the flag I'm looking at right now for Bitcoin is this bear flag, baby. The bear flag looks absolutely treacherous, right? With a target of about $87,000 for Bitcoin on this Monday night, right? On this Monday night, it looks like we've already broken to the downside, possibly even did that bullish retest before further nuking. That definitely can be the case, right? Taking this flagpole, taking the extrapolated target, right, of the pole, the length of the pole down to about 88.8, 88.7, depending on where you want to put this. Down to that 88.7. Region, right? And that can be absolute carnage. And we start breaking some of those key support levels, you're going to see people FOMOing in short. You're going to see, oh my gosh, that was the top. That was the top. That was the top. Imagine this. Imagine a full red candle on a day down here. What people are going to think. It's going to be absolute carnage. And you're starting to fill that gap in the VRVP. Does not look good. Does not look good. We need the stock market to open green tomorrow, everybody. We need the market to recover. Bitcoin's been so pinned to the stock market. It's been crazy. All right. Diving in. All right, the Denzer drop-in is helping me trading. I'm down bad. Yeah, man. Hey, you're not alone in that, man. You're not alone in that. There are a lot of people that are really struggling with gains. My altcoins are down bad, right? It is what it is, man. Like a lot of the altcoins that I like, Ondo's been absolutely getting its butt cheek spanked, man. It's been absolute crazy. We're below the daily 200. I may even consider rotating some out of Ondo into something that's holding a little more strength, right? I love Ondo, man, but we're even forming like a bear pennant here compared to Bitcoin's bear flag. That's worse. Right, so Ondo's struggling, man. One of the best projects in the game, in my opinion, supported by BlackRock and everything. Look at this carnage, right? Are we coming back down to the bear market lows for Ondo? You know, we could come down this high volume node at 73. Another one that I like, right? Aerodrome, baby. Gosh, it's likely below the 200 too. Aerodrome at 64 cents. This was trading at 220 2 months ago, everybody. This is a massive this is the #1 exchange on base. Jupiter, man, I love Jupiter. Jupiter's where I do all my swaps. Look at this. This is carnage. We haven't been down here. We haven't closed a daily candle for Jupiter down here since its inception. We have not closed a daily candle for Jupiter below 67 cents since its inception. Look at this bigger flag that we had, right? Getting absolutely nuked to the downside. And Jupiter's been royally messed with because of the wickage action that came with the Trump and Melania coin. Look at this. These are daily candles, everybody. That just happened recently. I remember Jupe had that 30%. This was everybody swapping for Melania and Trump on Jupiter, right? You needed Jupiter in order to do that, or Solana, right? So it ripped the price up to the upside. People were speculating real hard. All right, so that's kind of what we're looking at. We're seeing some altcoins really lose some key levels right here. We need Bitcoin to get some footing here. I don't think, people say 2017 Bitcoin started to fall off and altcoins started to get their massive roar to the upside. I don't think that that's going to happen. I don't. Look at what's happened in the past. Bitcoin struggled in a little bit, and these altcoins just get nuked, right? Now, there could be some serious buy pressure that picks up the Bitcoin dominance, but it's not going to happen, or that causes Bitcoin dominance to fall off. But it's not going to happen until we have that moonshot on Bitcoin dominance that will come with a capitulation wick, in my humble opinion, right? Again, not financial advice. All right, diving in. You're awesome, bro. Sin Nasty Kid, thanks. I've been shorting Sol, Optimism, Bull Flag all day. Loads of profit. Hey, congratulations, PMG Corey. Congratulations, man. Those are some big moves that you're catching on Bitcoin. And shorting's kind of fun. I struggle. It goes against my thesis, shorting, because I really believe in these asset classes over time, right? So shorting, I'm like, why would I short if I'm losing money in my spot bag and I'm, gaining on my lev bag? It messes with me mentally, but it's important to learn how to short, right? You just got to trade the charts. You got to, ignore your spot bags, invert the chart. Like I hate looking for shorts. So I just look for longs on the inverted chart, right? Like I look for longs on the inverted chart. Are we breaking up here on this double bottom? That could take you to a target, right? That could take you to a target of the double bottom breaking up, that's 76K. If this was on the 1 minute time frame, right? It would look so good. It would look so juicy right now, besides being under the 200 MA, right? It would look so juicy. You're above the high volume node. You're breaking above that resistance. You break through and you turn this resistance into support. Maybe you form some kind of flag here and you rip to the upside. That's just speaking about Bitcoin from an inverted perspective. That's a downward move, right? So, yeah, man, congratulations on those shorts, right? Congratulations on those shorts. We are building the potential for a short squeeze, right? We definitely are. This bear flag plays out. Whenever we get a reaction, it will be pretty legendary, right? Whenever you get the reaction move, it can be really gnarly for the shorts. Eventually, there's going to be people who are shorting that get trapped, right? And the bulls could start pushing this to the upside pretty quickly. I'm not saying we're going to come back to the highs, but I'm saying there will at least be some kind of reaction, likely off of some 786 area or one of the 200 MAs. All right, diving in. Yeah, you just have to trade the charts, man. You just have to trade the charts. I'm just saying it, calling it as it is, right? Like as far as leverage goes, you just got to trade the charts. You can't care about what the asset is. You can't care. To me, I'm like, I don't care about fundamentals, right? If Bonk coin, right? If Fart coin, don't get me on my meme thing again. If Dogecoin decides to, hey, absolutely be like, okay, the charts are setting up real good, I'm going to take a long here. I'll do it on Doge. I'll do it on projects that I don't have in my spot bags, right? Because the charts are looking good, So trading is completely different than investing in my mind, right? Because I'll trade any asset, but I'll only invest in a select few. My opinion, right? All right, we want to dive into Thorchain. Rune is getting annihilated. I see Rune to 0, and let's talk about that. I've seen people saying Rune's going to 0. Why is that? Rune, what is Rune? Anybody know what Rune is? Put it in the chat. Rune is a lending platform based off of Bitcoin, and they recently paused their lending program. Why? Well, if your lending program is based off of Bitcoin and Bitcoin starts nuking / losing sentiment, you're guaranteeing yourself, based off of the interest rate, a diminished return if Bitcoin starts nuking. So it's like it's like if the banks were giving you a loan on your Bitcoin, right? You don't necessarily care, right, if your Bitcoin goes up or down in value, right? Because you just have to pay back the Bitcoin. So say in an extreme example, say Bitcoin goes to 10K. Well, then Rune's only going to recuperate 10% on its investment, that initial loan, right? So it could get wrecked. So when Bitcoin struggles, Rune is going to struggle way more, especially with the news of them halting their lending platform. And you're going to get pumps, man. You're going to get pumps. Nothing's going to be a straight nukage. But the moving averages are getting tight. That is a promising sign on the 3 hour and the larger time frames here. But this is not looking good. This is not looking good. You were trading at 750 2 months ago, and you're down 84% on your investment. That is one of the worst performing altcoins that I've seen, right? In regards to crypto bubble. I remember I think it was in the top 100. I'm pretty sure it was. It was in the top 100. Rune definitely was. Currently sitting at 123. Look at this, man. All this blood red on the day. Look, the hour, the 15, everything's kind of rolling over. This could get bad. And, you know, you'll start seeing these bubbles will start to increase really, really big on the 1 minute if we do start to collapse, right? I love crypto bubbles, man. It's totally free. CryptoBubbles.net. Feel free to check it out. You know, I like using it as my screensaver. Sometimes I just like clicking around in here because I like that visual stimulus, right? I just like making room for a big green candle, baby, which used to be Fartcoin. I remember when Fartcoin used to just sit in the middle here and taunt me. He used to say, hey, Boys Crypto, no matter how much research you do, no matter how much you dive into the charts, you will be outperformed by this Fartcoin that nobody knows what it really does. You're just going to get outperformed by Fartcoin over time. You know, Fartcoin's going to 100x, and you're going to put in all this work and effort, and you better off just putting your net worth in Fartcoin, baby. Boy, I'm glad I didn't listen to that devil on the shoulder. Let's look at Fartcoin. No, I can't do this. I can't do this to myself. I cannot do this to myself. We're looking at Fartcoin, you know, up at $1.36 a month ago, trading at 27 cents. Thank you, little angel on my shoulder saying, don't invest in memes. Don't invest in memes, Boys Crypto. Don't do it. You're going to get annihilated. You're going to get wrecked. You're going to get scared out of the space. Beam, disgusting. This is carnage, everybody. This is carnage for the meme coins, right? So, all right, let's dive into the chat. Fartcoin was huge for a while. It was the biggest bubble, man. It was just right there in the middle taunting me. I couldn't keep my eyes on anything else. You know what I mean? It was devastating. It was crazy to see Fartcoin screaming up to the moon like that and people tweeting on I saw some crazy stuff. Fartcoin, the new Bitcoin. Fartcoin, the new Ethereum. Fartcoin, the meme of the century. Fartcoin, the new Dogecoin. Fartcoin, get out of here. You think Fartcoin? Who thought of that? Who thought of that, man? I saw memes going around. You know, you made it. You finally made it. You're ripping to the upside. Your portfolio's going green. You're in a big mansion. You're sitting down. You're laid back with your kids, and your kids say, "Father, how did we make it? Why are we eating steak and lobster every day? Why are we riding around in a Maserati? Why'd you sell that 2009 Toyota Corolla that's been beaten up and doesn't have a fender and has hand crank windows? The one that struggles to just start up because the starter might be bad. We don't know what's wrong with it. The AC went out in the Texas sun. Why did we upgrade, Dad, to Lambos? Why did we upgrade to mansions, Dad? I have a pool in my bedroom, Dad. Son, I got into Fartcoin when it was nothing, before it became the next Bitcoin. Fartcoin, baby. I went to the grocery store, I went to the gym, I met my wife. I said, hey girl, I got some Fartcoin. Check me out. What's up? Yeah, that scenario would never play out in life. There's no way, right? There's no way. Right? You guys are sneaking this meme coin thing in on me, man. I'll go on rants like that forever. You guys will dry my uvula out. All right. Check Palai. Whoa, getting some things in the chat. Hey, thank you guys for lighting up the chat. It really does help the algorithm and everything. I love it. Exactly. Yeah, you had to trade the charts. Fartcoin was huge. Fartcoin, Fartboy, Fart Club. Dude, you're gonna light me up, man. You're gonna light me up. I'm gonna pull up all these charts and I'm just gonna start screaming in here. I can't do that. I got a roommate sleeping. If she wakes up, she'll come and pull the internet cord. She'll pull the internet cord, and then I'm gonna have no choice but to take it out on that Comcast guy. All right. It was ripping. Check Palai, farts all day. I can't look at it, man. I can't do it. Palai. Let's dive in. Palm AI. P-A-A-L-A-I. Let's see. Probably Dex Screener, huh? Dex Screener. Good old Dex. Light me up on meme coins, guys. And when the market recovers and I start seeing those big greens and meme coins, you're just gonna see me. You're gonna see me looking like that Donald Trump you're gonna see me looking like that Donald Trump mugshot, just with the eyebrows. I'm gonna be looking at it. I'm gonna be looking at those big, those big bubbles, those big boobles, big boobles. Shout out in the chat if anybody who likes those big bubbles, right? Shout out to all of you guys and ladies, right? All right, let's see. Farts all day, farts all day. Got me, man. Pal AI, P-A-L, AI. P-Pal. I'm not getting anything. Is it just Pal? Pal AI, Pal AI. Pal AI, Paladin AI. Market cap, 664K. Dude, don't tell, what? No. Look, this is like a car that ran straight into a concrete wall and got absolutely totaled, right? And saying, hey, can this still drive? I don't know. Like, you were going, you hit that concrete wall, you know, you lost a tire, you lost your steering wheel, you lost your arm, you know, you're bleeding out, you're on the floor, you know, and someone comes up and says, hey, you think the car still runs? I don't know, man. This is carnage. If you believe in the project, this is likely the area. 176K liquidity. It's not bad compared to the overall market cap. You really gotta believe in it, man. You gotta believe in it, and you gotta zoom in far. This thing's been taking an absolute beatdown, and this is gonna. The AI space has been taking a bending over the barrel with the AI space. Let's look at virtuals, man. Virtuals was on a tear, but Bitcoin, I'll tell you, Bitcoin starts nuking. Virtuals will come down, violate this. The daily bull div was kicking in. Where's the daily? The daily bull div was kicking in, and we're teetering on it, man. We're teetering on it. If we lose this daily bull div, just like when you violate bear div, when you break through bearish divergence, it could get massively violent and bloody to the downside. It's on TV. Pal AI, man. I love that, right? And it's great news for the space. It's good getting it out there and everything. But at the end of the day, when you're talking about speculation and Bitcoin struggling like this, it's so hard for me to hit the go button on it because it's so hard. Again, low market cap, it can deviate away from Bitcoin, but it's going to take it's not respecting the charts right now, or it's not respecting that news right now. You're sitting at you know, it's on TV and it's still dumping like this, right? So you got to wonder, like, what is that, a sell the news event kind of deal? I don't know a lot about the project. I could check it out when we're off stream. I'll look at it, right? But I can't get behind a lot of these more speculative assets, right? Not because they're not good projects, but because Bitcoin is struggling right here, and Bitcoin needs to hold. You just had a $2,500 sell come in on this thing, right? Like, that led to a big red, like red. You have very little green here, man. There's not a lot of buy orders coming in that are supporting you. The bear volume is the volume from the bearish perspective is pretty big. Yeah, this is a tough space, guys. This is a tough space. And we're seeing red all across the board. Oh, we got some 5-minute, resurgent. Kaito, what in the world? But yeah, we're seeing some red here. Watch your altcoins, everybody. Watch your altcoins. This is a sea of red here. I don't think I see a single, on the day, there's 1, 2, 3 green candles that I can see. Everything else is deep red. Deep red, right? Oh, that's a 100 to 200. But everything else is deep red. Even less on the, what is this? Story and Dexy or whatever. It's green on the day. Even XRP, one of the strongest coins in the game, down massively. Insane. Even all of Trump's coins are down massively. There's no buy pressure here, everybody. This is tough. All right, let's dive in. Pal AI, TradingView, wrong. Oh, TradingView, P-A-A-L-A-I. I got you, man. I got you. Hey, anytime if I pull up a coin like that, P-A-A-L-A-I, Pala Network, is that what you're looking at? P-A-A-P. P-A-A. Come on, spelling. Pal AI, baby. Pal AI. All right, on the daily. Here we go. All right, yeah, okay, so you got some HCS coin. Look, these coins that just came out, speculatively, you know, even including virtuals before it got its run up. These things are highly speculative still. They're not old. This is 3 months old, man. So it's going to take some time to find some footing. Are we getting that footing here, you know, with this rounded bottom? It's possible. You had the initial run up hype. You have some consolidation here. You're rounding on the bottom. You need to see some kind of, you need to, we need to get back above that high volume node. We need to get above the daily 200 MA. There's a lot of roadblocks in the way. There is less, like if I was trying to choose a path, right? If I was choosing a path and one path, there's a bunch of elephants, 200 MAs, there's a bunch of, you know, large people, like there's a bunch of people in my way, and I'm trying to get to the same point as there's a clear street, there's nothing in my way, you know, what path am I going to take to get to my destination? There's a way quicker route to the downside right now on a lot of these coins than there is to the upside, right? Even though we've had so much downward pressure, we still have a lot of 200 MAs to get through, right? You got to start breaking 200 MAs if you want to see, I'm sorry, I got to zoom into these guys for you guys. We got to start breaking some of these 200 MAs even to give me the warm and fuzzies. Right now, we're above everyone. We're below everyone. We're below everyone. Right? And as long as we're below everyone, to me, I can't say, hey, now's the time to long. I mean, you may say, hey, this is the dip. This is the dip. But I would wait at least until the 1 minute cracked, like right there. That would give me some warm and fuzzies, right? But you'd be speculating on the 3. You probably came up to the 3. You did, and you rejected, right? So you got to start knocking these things over like dominoes. I want to see a stronger time frame break, like the 5, the 15, right? And when those things do start breaking, you are going to get that monumental move to the upside. Why? Because these are fanning out so far. Look how far away you are from the daily 200. The daily 200 is sitting up here at 23 cents. That's a 100% move. So you start cracking some of these 200 MAs. Eventually, you're going to get to the 2 hour, the 3 hour, the 4 hour. You get above the 4 hour, you come to the 6 hour. You get above the 6 hour, you come to the 8 hour, the 12 hour that are all currently sitting up here because it takes so long for these moving averages to move, right? Because the average price over the past 212 hour blocks, right? You get above this 500 MA, you could squeeze all these people that have shorted up in here, right? But until you see some short-term signs of a momentum shift, you cannot get behind it. But in my opinion, again, not financial advice, right? But that's what I need to see in order to speculate on any form of recovery. You gotta assume that the car or the train is going in one direction until you start seeing it turn around, right? Until you start seeing it turn around, right? If I'm going 100 miles an hour in one direction, which right now it looks like we currently are, you know, if there's no signs of stopping, you know, I'm not going to stand in front of that car, right? I'm going to wait for it to slow down, right? And be able to jump on the train, go in the other direction. And to me, that is a break of the 5 minute 200 or the 15 minute 200 to give me that sign of relief, right? To give me that sign of relief. Look, you had a massive capitulation, eventually got above the 15. There's your relief. There's your relief. You got above the 15, you had a little bit of relief, fell below. You know, you're playing Chop City right here before we had that massive dump. But that 15, right? That 15 is huge. You get above the 15, boom. You get above the 15, relief. You get above the 15, you got some sideways consolidation action. Didn't happen there. You get above the 15, relief. That's the line in the sand for me, man. I would feel warm and fuzzy. I could go to sleep. I could go to sleep and feel like, okay, Bears, now I got the 15-minute 200 MA. Come get me, baby. Come get me underneath me. Right now, I'm like, wow. I got the 200 MA above me. I can't think I'm gonna drive through that concrete wall on the first attempt, right? It may take some consolidation, maybe a shoulder, a head, and then a right. Like, what if this happens, right? Would this be bullish, right? This would be in this to get in at the same area, right? Like if this was a shoulder, right, and we're starting to form like a head, right, and then a right shoulder. Right? That would be something that could kick us out of here. By that time, the 15 minutes down here, right? And you're speculating on a move to the upside. You're probably breaking above the 1, the 3, the 5, you know, and you're getting above a key resistance level, like right here, right? The neckline, right? Of that shoulder, head, right shoulder. That would be where I look to take a move. And then even if you're below the 5 minute or the 15 minute 200 MA, you're above the 5. So now you're pinned in between two above a major resistance that has been flipped to support, right? Or a breakout level, right? You can get above that 15 and you're gone. You're mooning, right? And that move is going to be massive, man. That move could be massive, right? All the way up to these high volume lows. That's a 10% move. And that's just the beginning based off of how fanned out these moving averages are, right? All right, yeah, long stream today. Hey, yeah, you know, you guys, hey, I appreciate you sticking with me. I'm here as long as you guys are here. Whatever you guys want to go through, I am here. I'm up all night, every single night, everybody. I'm up all night, every single night. Usually, you know, massaging the lady's feet until she falls asleep. And then after that, you know what I mean? I'm doing crypto, baby, crypto, baby. It's what I'm doing every single day, and I'm going to do it every single day for you guys. We're going to build something special here on this channel. All right, let's dive in. TradingView, Roncoin, check AVAX. Hey, so you want AVAX? AVAX, hey man, we're going to do AVAX. We're going to cut it off. Michaela, that is right. It is a pretty long stream here today. We've been rocketing for 3 hours, everybody, on this stream. Thank you for diving on in with me today. You guys are legends. Some of you guys been here the entire time. Legendary. AVAX, one of the strongest coins in the game before we got this massive dumpage, right? We were speculating on a long back here not too long ago. Weekend trading action, man. It's choppy, right? Did not enter that position. We were just kind of setting it up, right? And it ended up falling to the downside. AVAX, we're here right before, right, where we were, but prior to the election. These are 4-hour candles. You are coming down to a key support area where price has bounced before. This needs to hold. We're below the 200 MAs, probably on every single time frame. Below the 1 hour, below the 30, below the 15. We'll zoom in here. Right? We're below all the 200 MAs. I need to find a way to auto zoom in the time frame whenever I click it, because like you go into the 100, right? I need to zoom in here on TradingView. But you're below the 1, you're below the 3, the 5, the 7, the 9. These are all these elephants in your way, right? These are all the big people at the Chinese buffet where you can't get to the sweet and sour chicken, right? You can't get past them, right? They're just waiting there, right? To eat all the sweet and sour chicken before they bring out more, so you can never get any sweet and sour chicken, right? All these big people above you. Shout out to all my big people. I love you guys, right? I'm not making fun of big people, right? I'm in the gym trying to get big every day, right? But you're hugging this wick right here. It is a dangerous area. Like, I'm looking for something like this. This is exactly what I'm looking for, right? A mass capitulation to the downside, right? And I guarantee in here you found some 1 minute or 3 minute bull div. I'm waiting for that fear, that massive capitulation. And it looks like we're on the cusp for a lot of these altcoins. Like it really does. AVAX below the high volume node, right? Not something I like to see. You're below everything. Show me some signs of strength on the lower time frame. Show me a sign of strength on the 5. Get above the 5-minute 200 MA. I can take you seriously, right? We did get above briefly here before nuking back below. We tried here, nuked back below. Get above the 5-minute 200 MA, and then I'll start speculating on higher prices. But right now, the moving averages are fanned, but you need to get some. Positive price action above the 200 MA. It is so incredibly important, everybody, that we get above these 200 MAs on the smaller time frames in order to see any chance of recovery here. Like, they just come down and they're serving as resistance points for us, right? We got above here briefly, like when you're looking at the 7, that was resistance, right? You came above, resistance. Are we going to come up here and get rejected again and fall to lower prices until we get that that crack of some of these midterm 5-minute, 15-minute? I would like to see an hour, but the hour is pretty far up there. I would stick with the 15-minute. This is your time frame to watch, everybody. Let's call it the 5. This is your time frame to watch. If you're speculating on a long night, you're going to get that massive capitulation wick, and this 200 MA is going to start nuking, right? Just like price, right? Because the 5-minute 200 MA is a lot more sensitive than a lot of the other ones, right? Like the 15 or the hour. And you're going to get like a mass capitulation right here, right? On that recovery, when you cross that 5-minute 200 MA, you can be gone. You can be gone very, very quickly. That is what I'm going to be looking at for tonight. I'm going to be looking at some major divs forming, right? Forming on the smaller time frames. And that's what I'm going to be looking at for going into the night. I know it's all doom and gloom, everybody. It looks like it on crypto bubbles, but there will be a bounce here, baby. There will be a bounce. There will be. There has to be, right? Nothing goes straight down, right? On the charts, you can't find me a chart that goes straight up. It goes just like that for straight down, with the exception of Rune. Rune looks devastating, right? And if Bitcoin falls, Rune can cease to exist, and it could default, right? It could default, right? It has loans out. It could default, like if Bitcoin falls too far on its path to the downside here. You're sitting at a critical area for AVAX. Is this a generational opportunity, right? You sweep the longs there, you sweep the longs here, maybe you sweep that long before going to the upside back down at 16,690. If we sweep the longs here on AVAX at 16,690 and you get all that liquidity out of there, that would be a nice time to long, in my professional opinion. I would open up a low leverage long on that. I will keep you guys updated on what I am doing on X throughout the night. It's really important to follow me on X if you're interested in following my trading ideas. Hey guys, we got that bearish news with the Ethereum nuking with the Bybit hack. It's gotten some trust issues in the market right now. This will subside. This will end. We'll forget all about this. Just like how many people remember February 2nd? I do, baby. I do. That massive capitulation wick. We forgot all about it when we were trading up in here, baby. that next couple of days, we were like, man, we're above the high volume node. We're looking good. And now we're back down to where we are. Are we going to have a massive capitulation wick before the whales decide to take us to the upside? There are a lot of people, including Michael Saylor and stuff, that were buying above these prices, right? There are a lot of whales that are in here. You're looking at an M pattern on the weekly for AVAX. Look, hey, we traded down here at $8 before. This is a strong project. I'm surprised some of these stronger coins are getting this kind of absolute annihilation, right? This is, oh man, this is like getting thrown into one of those prisons in Russia, right? Like you just feel like you keep getting annihilated every time. Like every time you get a little bit of hope, oh, I'm about to get out, and you drop the soap, and then you just get absolutely wrecked right from behind. Right, just take that as you will. But that's what we're looking at for AVAX. It looks absolutely disgusting right here. It's critical that we hold this support right here, or you're not looking, that's a support resistance flip, right? We did it here though. This support needs to hold. You have a high volume node down here at about 16, 17. Careful with leverage, everybody. If you're looking and speculating on these projects, ripping to the upside and cracking their highs, now are great prices. But in the near term, Bitcoin dominance looks to take over the game. Bitcoin, is it going to rear its head and say, I am the king, no other project matters? It's crypto, everybody. Anything can happen. Anything can happen. This is crypto. Can Bitcoin dominance rip? It can. You got the 21 supporting on the daily. This was, man, is this a double top that we're looking for? Do we have bear div? We do have slight bearish div right now on the 4 hour, right? But, it's slight. It's so slight. You have a swing up in price. Nah, it's slight. It's slight. It's so slight, it's almost negligible. Right? It might be on the daily here. The bear div on the daily. Oh, come on, TradingView. Come on, play with me, baby. Play with me. You have the slight bear div here. You have a swing up in price, depending on how this candle closes, right? And you're having that swing down on the RSI. That RSI does need to buckle over if we want that bearish div to kick in. That would break this low before we broke this high, right? But that high is so far off due to that massive capitulation wick. If we get a nuking for Bitcoin, that is going to take us to higher prices, break us out of this channel, or higher Bitcoin dominance percentage. That will break us out of this channel, and we could see a kind of a blue skies breakout for Bitcoin dominance. Not what I want to see. I would track that 786 on the daily that we pulled earlier in the stream if you're looking at Bitcoin dominance, right? And if you're trading that perpetual. All right, what else we got? Gonna need another rehab monster. Another rehab monster. These things absolutely smack. Did you guys know that you could, I'm not saying I've seen this, but people start doing like coffee enemas and monster enemas. What do? Stand upside down on your hands and insert this? I don't understand that, right? Oh man, that would be crazy. Imagine the energy shot that you get. Not that I would try. I don't think that would fit in any hole, and but no coffee enemas or anything for me. I'm gonna go to the upside. Shout out to April bringing that up. Thank you, April. You just embarrassed. You just got me talking about things that we don't want to be talking about here on the stream now, girl. Come on. But yeah, that coffee enema, man, I've seen that. It's such a weird health fab. I don't understand what's going on with it. But shout out to anyone who does coffee enemas. If anybody does coffee enemas in the chat, let me know. Shout out to all my coffee enema brethren. Let me know how it's going for you. I recommend not using hot coffee if you do decide to do that. Usually I put an ice cube in my coffee to cool it down before I drink it, right? Because I don't like burning my tongue, and I don't like getting like pit stains or anything like that, because I'll be sweating if there's a lot of caffeine. But doing it through the other route, very interesting. Maybe that could be one of our contests. Like, we get to 1,000 subscribers, and I'll try the coffee enema. Maybe not on stream. I don't know how we would do that for you guys. Maybe just a picture of my face when we're doing it, right? All right, or I think you do it through a keg, or I'd imagine you do that through a keg of some sort, some way, shape, form. Enough talking about that. All right, diving into the chat. April, I cannot believe you brought that up. What in the world, girl? All right, we went over Palei. Yep, TradingView. Check AVAX. We went over AVAX. Hey everybody, that's where I'm gonna cut it tonight. This is a record stream. Thank you for joining me here at your 9:30 Central Time, 10:30 Eastern Standard Time. I will be back here tomorrow to bring you guys all the hottest updates in crypto. Come on, baby, let's get some green going. The 5-minute may look at that green. Hey, it always starts somewhere. It starts on the 1, then the 5, right? Let's try and get this turned around. This day's been absolutely crazy for crypto. Look at this dominance going on an absolute moonshot. We haven't had a candle close here in over 2 years, everybody. This has been absolutely massive. Thank you, everybody. Good night, everyone. Thank you for jumping in the chats. Drop a like, drop a comment, subscribe. Remember, we got a giveaway going on at that 100 subscriber mark. I'm excited to give away some Solana to you guys when we reach that milestone. Shout out to all you guys. You guys are awesome. I will not forget you guys, the OGs, the first ones in this space. We're building this community together. It's brick by brick. We will build this house. I love you guys. Until tomorrow, stand by for my video later on this morning for my morning update on a random Hey, you know what do you guys want to see? What do you guys want to see? Drop it in the chat. What video? I'm going to go over a coin, right? I'm going to go over a coin in depth on a video with my new video editing software. What coin, first coin that we see in the chat, I will go over in depth on my upcoming video. What do we want to see? What do we want to see, everybody? What do we want to see for the upcoming video on in-depth analysis? In-depth analysis, I could go over a trading pattern. I could go over, I am coming out with that beginner series. It's in the works, everybody. First video is completed, and we'll be posting those all up together. It's going to be 8 videos long of my strategy and how I trade different trading patterns, bullish divergence, bearish divergence. Do we know what we're talking about when we're using those terminologies, right? The VRVP, the stochastics, everything under the sun, risk management, all that juicy stuff coming soon to you here on YouTube on this channel. Later, man. Hey, yeah, another rehab monster. Later, man. Night, everybody. Doesn't look like we're getting any coin suggestions in the chat. I will see you guys tomorrow. Thank you for joining me tonight, everybody. I love you all. Have a great night. Until then, boys, crypto. Whoa. So, make a crypto for dummies. Make crypto more accessible for people who don't understand the market. Hey, that's it. I think what I'm going to do is crypto catch up to speed, trading catch up to speed. I'm working on the title now. But trading catch up to speed, so that everybody knows what we're talking about. Did I have something on my lips the entire time? No way. Good night. That could have been anything, right? I could have been snacking on that for you guys. You know, or I could have been snacking on that during if I got a little hungry. You know what I mean? All right. Shout out to you guys. I will see you guys tomorrow. Enjoy your night. Shout out to everybody who joined me in the chat. Love you guys. Drop a like, comment, and subscribe. Until tomorrow, Boys Crypto is out.